Like this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show. Weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's panel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
We can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillars. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and take a moment out to hit that like button, because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media, and you don't have to worry about it because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you've already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead and hit that like button, because you already know what time it is, and you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery to you at this point. You've seen other people do it. You've even seen people do it well. But what you have not seen is anyone do it the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. And everyone, yes, everyone, take a moment out to share the content, y'all. There are so many people who need to get great content like this, and it's just a small thing you can do to help the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Don't we want the world to be a better place? Of course we do. So share the content out. Share it through your social media. Share it through word of mouth, or even text someone's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. All right, folks, we are back for another fantastic episode of the Roger Report Live. The matter, it's gonna be a little different, y'all. Gonna be a little different. All right, today's episode, we are dealing with we're gonna do another jury duty, y'all. We're gonna do these from time to time. I'm gonna see if it goes a little bit smoother this time. We did it once, but it was kind of out of nowhere. Now at least people have seen at least what it looks like once. So let's get into it again, y'all. All right. So today's episode, jury duty. All right, jury duty. Did the restaurant workers commit murder? Okay, did the restaurant workers commit murder? All right, that's going to be the question that we're going to deal with, y'all, because we can do what we want to do over here at the Roger Report Live. So I guess this would be more like a grand jury, like should they face charges? Should they face charges? And we're going to get into this in a moment, y'all, about, because if you don't know, as of right now, no charges have been filed to my knowledge. As of right now, no charges have been filed to my knowledge. So we have Anita Grayson, a 75-year-old woman who went to the restaurant to, what I've been hearing is, get a cup of coffee, and it turned deadly. Okay, it turned deadly. Now, she wasn't a spring chicken, 75 years old. Okay. You wouldn't think you get into a physical altercation at 75 years old. I thought, you get to, you know, honestly, I thought if you make it to 40, like this shouldn't even be an issue at that point that you got to get into physical altercations. Like it really, the fighting stuff is supposed to stop somewhere in your 20s. But hey, sometimes it don't go that way. And unfortunately, whatever we side with, the lady still lost her life. So unfortunately, she lost her life. And as of this point, it seems like she lost her life over a cup of coffee, okay, or whatever her issue was with the cup of coffee. Not clear about what the issue was with the cup of coffee, but she still went down. And as my father would say, dead is still dead. So, hopefully she made it into the kingdom, y'all. That's what I'm gonna say. Hopefully she's with God at this particular point. All right. Now, this is an interesting situation. We have it where a woman died. She went to the restaurant to get something. She had a drive-through order. She doubles back around, goes into the inside. Now, there's no sound on the recording, okay? The restaurant did get it, but there's no sound on the recording. And, people pick different words to describe what's going on. People pick different words. So the words people were using were like, she went in there to berate a 17-year-old. Okay. Now, this is the thing, y'all. 17-year-old is technically still a child. All right. And for a long time now, I've been saying, which I ain't finna change, a 17-year-old, yeah, that's a child. And they get certain respects for being a child. But at 18, you're an adult. It is what it is. I don't care if it's your 18th birthday. It is what it is. All right. And you got to deal with real life stuff. You got to deal with real life. Now, I didn't put this up early, which I should have if I was going to do this, but, extenuating circumstances, I got to do what I got to do to keep things moving along and keep things fresh and new around here. So I wish I would have been able to tell people ahead of time that we would do this as another jury duty, but we're going to work with what we got, y'all. We're going to work with what we got. All right. We're going to work with what we got. So, of course, I'm welcoming guests to come up right away as soon as they want to. And we're going to do this we're going to do this as best we can. We're going to do this as best we can. Now, this woman, I don't know if she's a grandmother or not. I know she had a daughter because I did see a clip of her daughter. Her daughter believes that she deserves some level of justice. At this particular point, there's no level of justice being pursued as far as we know. I've heard stuff about investigating, but as of this point, no one has been charged. Now, what can I tell you? You got a black woman who goes into the restaurant. She had a problem with her order. I mean, that's not that big of a deal at the end of the day. I mean, who hasn't had a problem with an order before? All right. Who has not had a problem with an order before? I'm pretty sure a lot of us have had problems with orders before. All right. So now she goes into that restaurant to speak her piece about her order. And could it have been more civil? Possibly. I'm going to say, I don't know that it wasn't civil. I don't know that a civil attempt wasn't made because, see, with the sound not being recorded, how do I know she wasn't trying to be civil? All right. How do I know that? All right. They can make it out like she wasn't trying to be civil, but if there's no recording, what am I supposed to think? Now, this was a quote unquote mad black lady. I think a lot of folks are giving it the spin. This is the mad black lady. She just had a problem with her order. Now, can she be upset about her order? Sure. As a paying customer, if they don't get your order right, I totally understand how you can be a little mad about it. And even though she's 75, y'all, I don't know what her situation is. She could have still had a job of some kind. Maybe she had to get to work. And if you working at 75 and they mess up your order, I can understand how that might be, you could be a little pissed off. All right. You could be a little pissed off. Did she go in there to beat up a 17-year-old? I mean, there are people who can be wild sometimes, but no, I don't think she went in there to beat up a 17-year-old. That, now, granted, I can give based on the video, she seemed like she was a little upset. I can definitely do that. Now, I personally believe the 17-year-old, she started getting out of pocket in front of her manager. All right. And the manager just didn't do anything. So the manager was cool with, her saying whatever she wanted to say to this black woman. That's what I'm going to say. Now, I don't know the color of the people. I just know based on the footage, one looked white. Okay. Based on other people that came out, they looking a little white too. All right. They looking a little white. And with some white women take an opportunity to jump on grandma because the opportunity just kind of showed up and kind of presented itself. You know what, y'all? This is a good time for us to jump on grandma. All right. Now, I don't know if she's an actual grandmother. She's just old enough to be a grandmother. She's 75 years old. Probably a grandma to somebody. Probably a grandma to somebody. She does have a daughter, so, could possibly be a grandmother. I didn't know for sure. But at the end of the day, I guess the customer's not always right. I'm going to say, according to the footage here, it did not look like the folks at the restaurant thought that the customer is always right. Now, this was some kind of Tim Hortons restaurant. Now, I don't even know of a Tim Hortons in Chicago, so I can't say I ever had an experience at a Tim Hortons restaurant. I don't know what their policies are. Maybe Tim Hortons don't value their customers like that. I don't know. I would assume the restaurant would want customers to come in. I would assume the restaurant wants the customers to feel safe. I would assume that the restaurant does not want its customers to touch the guests of the restaurant. That's what I would assume. I've never heard of a Tim Hortons restaurant, though. Okay. Shout out to Floyd Thompson. Let me see what Floyd Thompson's saying real quick. He said, she out behind the register. You already know, Roger. That was the girl's trash talking perch. Granny was definitely out of order within the wrong order. Okay. Wait a minute now. Hold on. She's all behind the register. You already know, Roger. That was the girl's trash talking perch. Okay. She could be behind that register and feel, quote unquote, extra safe to say some extra words. Because, yeah, that does happen. That does happen. But then he says Granny was definitely out of order with the wrong order. Well, Granny could definitely be upset about an order. Should Granny be able to address the restaurant about the order? I'm gonna have to say yes. If I get a bad order, especially something I'm paying for, I do believe I can address the people about my order. Now, what I would not expect is to die. Of course, I'm not going to expect to die about my order, but I do believe my order should be addressed. And if I go into a restaurant to address my order, whatever improper was about it, I don't think y'all supposed to kill me. I'm going to say that, y'all. I don't think we supposed to kill the customers that come in just because they got a little upset about it. Either we get your order right or we kill you. That's not a good restaurant policy. If you ask me, I don't know anything about I heard it being called a Tim Hortons restaurant. I've never even heard of that. Okay, so I don't know anything about it. Maybe it's just a restaurant named after some guy who, his name was Tim and he happened to name a restaurant after himself. I know nothing about Tim Hortons restaurant, but I would assume that Tim Hortons does not have a policy of kill the patron that comes in. you know, disagrees with them or whatever. Okay, I wouldn't believe that to be the case. Now, shout out to Gilgamy. Gilgamy, I appreciate the super chat. First one of the day. Thank you very much, and thank you for having me get off to the good start. He says, was she beaten to death or was it a mortal combat? Well, Gilgamy, she did, so don't that automatically qualify? I mean, as a mortal combat, I believe that automatically qualifies. All right, I do believe it automatically qualifies. Now, y'all, we have our first guest up, but this is where I throw a spin into it, y'all. This is where I throw a spin into it. Shark, since you were first. Well, excuse me, Detective Sims. Okay.
Put some stank on that for me, please.
Okay. We're going to put more than a little stank on it. We're going to put something that you wasn't even necessarily prepared for. But in the future, I will try to prepare folks for this. You the judge now because you the first guest.
Okay.
Okay. And we got another guest. As we get other guests to come in, they're going to have to, some of us going to have to fight one side while some of us going to have to fight the other side. Now, I'm assuming, well, I don't really know. I'm going to take a guess and believe I'm going to have to prosecute grandma. That's what I'm assuming. You know, who knows? But you never know. I'm going to take whatever side that's a little short-handed or whatever, or I can either prosecute grandma or I can prosecute these workers who seem a little white to me. Now, I don't know that these folks are white, y'all. Unfortunately, I didn't get as much time as I wanted to research this as much as I wanted to. It was a hectic day yesterday for me. I know a lot of y'all were enjoying y'allselves and just living their life and everything was cool. But and Shark, because you are the judge in this particular case, I know you may see things a particular way. But what I'm going to ask you to do, don't worry about how you see it. Okay? What I want you to do, Judge Sims, you make a ruling based on what we present. Okay? Make your ruling based on what we present. All right? And the question is, I guess this is more like a grand jury, y'all. Should these restaurant workers be charged for murder? Or should they be left to go about their business? Okay? That's what the thing is. Should they be charged for murder or be left to go about their business? Now, I don't know what's going to happen in real life, but maybe we'll get some level of understanding once we do this. I don't know what's going to happen in real life. Now, this is kind of Indiana. This is kind of more of a white area 9 times out of 10. Indiana got some very white places in it. So, you know, even as a mass as a country, you know, that's kind of a white state. So we'll see how it goes. Shout out to Afro Merchant. Thank you very much, my brother, for your super chat. He says, you're not running a successful business if you're not fighting your customers. The business is always right. Hashtag long live the habitual line steppers. All right? Long live the habitual line. All right, so in today's situation, Detective Sims will have a little more power than usual, y'all, because if he wants you to be quiet, you're going to have to be quiet. If he wants you to talk, you're going to have to talk. So he's going to be doing whatever he want to do because it's going to be his courtroom. All right. Anyone who wants to join the panel is welcome to join right away because we're going to do this thing. Now, I do believe grandma can get upset about her order. I do believe grandma can come address the order. Not that I know she's the actual grandmother, but she is the mother of a black woman. So I'm going to assume she's the black woman. What's the chances of the black woman not being a single mother? Or, maybe she ain't had kids yet, but she was kind of a big lady. So it's possible she don't have any kids at this point. It is possible. I'm going to say shout out to Emerald Edge. He said McDonald's, Starbucks, Wendy's, Tim Hortons, Dunkin', mom and pop shops, etc. Okay, well, I have no kind of idea what a Tim Hortons is. I'm going to assume that that's a franchise restaurant. It could just be a one location deal, though. It could be a one location deal.
It's a franchise because they got a Tim Hortons in New York.
Okay. And I'm not saying Tim Hortons is not in the Chicago area. I've never literally noticed this restaurant before. I've literally never heard of this restaurant. Okay, just so y'all know. All right, and we have another guest up, and let's see what he wants to do with this situation. We got Dark side rules all. I wonder which way gonna go with a name like that. Dark side rules all. That's an interesting moniker for this particular show. But Dark side rules all. I'm gonna give you the flow so you can make a case either for these restaurant employees getting murdered or against these restaurant employees getting murdered. And the Honorable Judge Sims is in control. So watch how you speak to him. I'm just letting you know. Watch how you speak to him. All right, go ahead.
First of all, dark side rules all. We don't care nothing about what the judge talking about today. We must. Hey man, this she was 75 years old, elderly woman, right? Supposed to know better. Supposed to know better, so much better that she is teaching the youth how to behave. That's what the Bible say. The Bible say the older women supposed to teach the younger women how to behave. Well, I guess she went in there and was teaching them. And the younger women responded in kind. Now, I don't know about you. If I'm at work and I'm behind the counter and you come back there pointing your finger in people's faces, you kind of get what you get. And I got a rule in my house. I don't bother with anybody that gives me anything I have to ingest or inject. I don't mess with no pharmacists. I don't mess with people that make my food. That's just a rule. They win automatically. No matter what they said, no matter what they did, no matter what they didn't do, what I got, no matter what I didn't get. I'm gonna take it up with corporate. I'm not arguing with the people that's making my food at that time. She automatically wrong. Automatically wrong. They are innocent. Innocent, Your Honor. This is utter foolishness. Innocent. I'm gonna land my plane there.
Wow. Just because they make food, that automatically makes them innocent.
That's right.
All
That's
right, well,
right.
since you're the only person here for this moment, I'm going to argue with the other side. I could do either one, y'all. I could do either one. Okay? So I'm going to say, Judge Sims, first of all, I hope you're having a great morning. Okay? I hope you're having a fantastic morning. All right?
You're off to a good start. I'll give you that one. You're off to a good start.
All right.
Don't be trying to butter up the judge. Let's get to it. Let's get
Excuse me,
to it.
sir.
Buttering up
Sir.
the judge and all that stuff.
Order in the
Sure,
court,
sure,
please. Order in the court.
Yeah. Yeah.
sure,
I hate to
sure.
offend you, sir,
I
but
apologize.
I have a job to do at this particular point. And I'm going to say, this look like cold-blooded murder to me. All I know is the woman came in. Sure, she may have been upset about a restaurant order, which is understandable. If they messed her order up, she could be upset about a restaurant order. Does that give them the right to kill her because she was upset about a restaurant order? See, I think that's where it starts to go too far. We should not be in a society where we can say that it is right to kill someone because they messed up your order. Because that's all that happened here. Okay. A woman came in because the order obviously was messed up. So therefore, the restaurant employees killed her. That's not the type of country I want to live in. It's not the type of world I want to live in. That seemed like a little too much pressure at the end of the day. And since I do believe it's okay to be a paying customer and the paying customer should get the items they actually paid for, to kill her, because we don't know anything else about these people. We don't know that they got some background. We don't know that they knew each other. We don't know of any type of previous beef they had. She was 75. Why would you kill a 75-year-old woman? Seems a little intentional to me. Okay, seemed a little intentional to me. And I'm going to say, until I find otherwise, it looked like these folks was white, in a very white area. They got them a nigga in there. Okay. And for whatever that reason is, we going to get this nigga today. She done gave us a reason. She done gave us a reason because she didn't like what we told her she needed to buy. That's what it seems like to me. But I'm gonna leave it right there.
Hold on. We don't say those kind of words in my court.
Okay, sir. Excuse me, Your Honor.
Please refrain from that, please.
Yes, excuse me, Your Honor. I do apologize. I was just trying to get the folks to understand the sentiment that I believe these women were coming from. No disrespect to the courtroom intended.
Thank you. You could call her Rowdy Shouty, but you can't call her no nigga.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Now we got some other guests in, y'all. Now, we got 3 other people that came up. Now, gentlemen, you all gonna have to choose a side. So understand this: choose a side. Okay, with your opening statement, choose a side. You either choosing that these folks should be charged for murder, or you gonna argue that they shouldn't be charged for murder. I don't care which one you do, but you must choose a side. Shout out to Black Uru Strikes. He says no Tim Hortons in Chicago area. Praise God. You know what? Shout out to Black Uru Strikes. And I do prefer restaurants where they don't kill their customers. I'm going to say that. Shout out to Black Uru Strikes. And I honestly prefer restaurants that do not kill their customers. You know, shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. All right. We have Granny made me do it first. Granny made me do it. What side you taking? And make your statement for or against her. For or against, whatever one you gonna do.
All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Happy Tuesday.
How you doing?
Happy Tuesday.
All right. For me, there's no case. In no way, shape, or form can I accept a 75-year-old acting like a toddler, going temper tantrum because your order got messed up. Okay.
Praise God.
These old broads, they're out of pocket. They still think that they're the same 28-year-old who could squabble up with everybody. Besides, far be it from me to ever condemn some beautiful white women with some pink toes. Y'all know that I love them pink toes. So no case. Not guilty. Granny died of a heart attack. Fuck Granny.
Wow, it's cold-blooded up in there. It's cold-blooded. UK Arsenal, you got to pick a side, my brother. Pick a side. Are you here to say that murder charges should be filed, or are you here to defend these folks and say murder charges shouldn't be filed? You got the mic? Go ahead.
Yeah, murder charges should be filed. Yes, she's an ignorant 75-year-old woman, but yeah, you can't be murdering a 75-year-old woman. Yeah, and the lesson is that when you go somewhere and they don't serve you the food you want, I don't go back there again. That's my approach to it.
I won't be eating in the UK no time soon.
That's the UK. Nothing else. That's where you leaving it.
No. So I said that if I eat somewhere and I don't like the food, I don't go back there. Or I mean, if it's somewhere where I'm regular and they get it wrong once, I would let them know where they went wrong or something to say that this order is not as usual. But you know what I mean?
Yeah. Roger wants you to help strengthen his case over there. You know, but you getting what you're supposed to get over there, Roger.
Sound like I'm on my own. Sound like I'm on my own. All right, Bronk, which side you taking? Make your argument, brother.
All right, I'm saying innocent. Roger. All right, because Indiana is a stand your ground state, and that even includes your workplace. Okay, if you look up Indiana Code 35-41-3-2, you are justified in using reasonable force, including deadly force, if you reasonably believe it is necessary to prevent death, serious bodily injury, or the commission of a forcible felony. I'm going to say
show over in 29 minutes 30 seconds. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. This has been another Roger Report Live.
I'm gonna have to
innocent, Roger. Innocent.
But I'm gonna have to
This
revoke.
lady,
I'm gonna have to
this
revoke
lady,
his statements because he came into the court representing his clients in a Nike tech suit with shoes on. So everything he says is admissible in court right now.
They playing dirty.
Yeah,
They playing
they
dirty.
playing dirty.
strike that from the
They
book,
playing
please.
dirty.
That,
Roger. What this lady did
hold
was
on now, hold
took a
on now.
couple of steps forward.
It's Judge Sims today. He running this one. He was the first one up. It's Judge Sims today. Better plead your case to him.
Detective Sims, Judge Sims, Your Honor, listen.
Notice that
This woman,
disrespect, Your Honor. He called you by
this
your first name. I just want to throw that
this
out there.
this woman took a couple of steps towards my client and was very aggressive and went so far as to push her face back after my client tried to create space between them.
Mm.
At that point, my client doesn't know what's going on. Did you see the force at which she pushed her face back? This lady might be 75 years old, Your Honor, but this lady has the strength of a 29-year-old woman. Look at
Came in
the
there like
video.
Paul Bunyan. Paul Bunyan.
We can
Mm-hmm.
keep that.
Under
We can keep that on the books.
Under Indiana code, Your Honor, under Indiana code, Your Honor, my client had no duty to retreat. Once my client felt threatened, felt that she was in danger of serious bodily harm, she had the right to defend herself at her workplace. I'm going to land my plane with that open statement.
Your Honor, I would like the court to simply look at the facts that this is an old lady coming to a restaurant, and I'm not saying this in a disrespectful way. I'm saying this in a matter-of-fact way. She is old, Your Honor. She came in looking old, okay? Just no disrespect to the old folks. I'm just saying she came in obviously an elderly woman. There's nothing going on about her where you would mistake her and say, hey, she's 25 years old. She's obviously an older looking woman. All right. And it was just about a food order. They say it was just coffee. She noticed she came in the restaurant, no weapons in her hand at all. She just came to talk to the folks because obviously the order is wrong. So number one, they don't even care enough about this woman to even get her order right. So we see there's definitely some insensitivities going on. Okay. She comes in to address them. It's 2-1 in the first place. Okay. So for someone to say that they are in fear of any kind is completely asinine at this point. Obviously, they're not afraid. This is a place they come to on a regular basis. They feel like they quote unquote have some ownership of the time that they're at the restaurant. I'm not saying they believe they truly own the restaurant, but they do understand that they are representatives of this particular restaurant. So, people say my job all the time. Technically, it's not their job. It's somebody else's job that they're just in the place of. So they have some type of ownership mentality at this particular time. And I'm saying they clearly displayed that ownership mentality when they felt, because all it can be is a feeling, because it ain't their restaurant. They felt like this person just shouldn't get good service today. They messed the order up in the drive-through, and now they don't even want to hear her talk
Objection.
about it on the inside.
Objection, Your Honor. Objection, Your Honor. You cannot you speak to to the mindset of the defendant, Your Honor. You can't speak to that.
I'll take that objection. You're right.
You don't know what.
Let me say this right quick. So, because she's 75 years old, that gives her the right to put hands on people. So I'm 75 years old, so they mess up my order. The first order is for me to start squabbling. That's ghetto mentality. I'm sorry.
Is that what you're trying to say, Roger?
I don't think I need to say that, but I do appreciate him bringing that up, because if you look at the video, only one side of the counter started touching people. Okay. Because this 75-year-old woman stayed behind that partition, I guess would be the proper word, that swing partition. She stayed behind it at all times. And if you look at the video, you will see that once there was two of them together, they felt comfortable enough to put their hands on her, not the other way around.
Your Honor,
Your
do look
Honor,
at the
if I may.
video though, Your Honor. Go ahead,
But
go ahead, bro.
I appreciate y'all helping my case though, bring up the fact
if I may, Your
that they
Honor,
started touching on grandma.
if I may, Your Honor,
You may.
yes, I'm afraid when I'm at work and you enter my space in a hostile manner. She knew she was only one person. So if one person comes into a restaurant of several people, I assume you have a weapon. If you're angry enough to face off with us, I assume you feel like you have the upper hand. Not only am I bound by the law, I'm also bound by the policy and procedures of the restaurant to not get in physical altercations with the customer. Your Honor, this 75-year-old woman who was the elder, who I should be learning from, is taking advantage of my weakness, being in a weak position at work, unable to defend myself as if I was at home, and by the laws themselves. She's taking full advantage of everything that she possibly can. When she simply could have said, "Hey, my order's incorrect. Can you correct it?" But she came in hostile. Who would not be afraid of somebody hostile? You're not at home. You're not armed. You're not ready to fight. You're not even looking for a fight when somebody comes in looking for a fight. And as far as a fight is concerned, there were no blows. There was nobody was struck by any objects. There were no objects from the kitchen that were used or anything. They were simply separated. The older woman fell, and she happened to have a heart attack at that
They
time.
are.
Maybe she didn't take her medicine. We don't know.
Let me say this. This new generation, they don't feel obligated to hold the elders in no quote unquote decency. They don't like y'all like that. You old folks, y'all messed up the whole world. And not only y'all messed up the whole world for them, but y'all refuse to die so that they can collect their life insurance money. Refuse to die to give him the home. And also, you wanna come at him? You wanna come at them in some derogatory way and put hands on them? Nah, they will not have it. Them young folks, they will whoop some old ass. Y'all, y'all, y'all,
I
y'all
don't think
y'all think
you.
y'all think y'all
I
think
don't,
y'all coming for the smoke? They gonna give it to
I
y'all.
don't, I don't think you helped our case.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think you helped our case.
I just want to say I appreciate these last two gentlemen's statements because they are really helping me out right now. And I'm gonna say this: we're talking about a person at a restaurant. We're not talking about where people are coming in to do a battle royale. There is no reason to assume some older lady is gonna come in and start fighting because of an order. Let's just be realistic about this, right? There's no reason to have that assumption, and the restaurant drew first blood. And I'm saying when the altercation started happening, it became physical because the restaurant employee went past the partition to touch on the patron. That's when this became physical. She just spoke words. Now she may have been upset when she spoke her words, but everyone gets a right to be upset when you're trying to, you know, sucker them out of money. And you're trying to sucker someone out of money when you're trying to give them something different than what they're paying for. I'm going to take a quick pause right there to read this super chat by Black Ooh Strikes. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. He says, did the staff follow policy of handling the situation? And I think Black Ooh raises a great question. And I'm going to say, I would bet money that they did not follow policy because I'm sure, even though I've never heard of Tim Hortons restaurant, if this is a big enough restaurant chain, there is no way in the world they don't have it in writing that you do not touch the guests. I know they got that in writing.
Object,
What restaurant would
objection,
operate
Your
that
Honor.
and not tell their employees not to touch the guests
Objection.
of the restaurant? But they sure skip past that
Uh,
and went right on to touch.
Well, can I ask the both
objection.
parties a question?
Objection. Your Honor.
Let me ask both
Hey,
parties a
objection.
question.
You're not.
If the
Go ahead.
plaintiff didn't want problems, why didn't she go to the cash register? Why did she go to the partition where the employees enter in, where the employees exit and enter from behind the register?
I believe that
Well,
she
it
went.
appears.
Well, I need one at a time.
It appears
Go ahead.
it appears the aggressor was being aggressive at that time and wanted to make it known to the employees who were trapped behind the partition that she was being aggressive. We don't want to be trapped in our kitchen with a disgruntled a disgruntled customer coming in. Like I said, we don't know if they have weapons. We don't know if there's somebody else following them in there. We need space when we have aggressive customers. So we just come to get to the partition before she gets trapped in and have a conversation with her to find out what's going on. She just continued to be aggressive, y'all.
Well, I'm gonna say she came in the restaurant with some Keisha mentality. Who knows that? Who knows if her order was messed up for real? Who does this think? Why don't y'all think that she was trying to pull a fast one on them to tell them that the order was wrong so that she can get her money back?
So,
Great
a lot
point.
of speculation in that one, Yana. That's all I'm gonna say. A lot of speculation in that one. And I want to say shout out to UK Arsenal, who says Tim Horton restaurant is in Europe and United Kingdom too. So, Your Honor, I just want it to be known we're not talking about some small spot now. Just because I haven't heard of it does not mean this is a small place. This is a restaurant in different states in the United States of America. And according to new information just being added, it's also in Europe and the United Kingdom. So we're talking about an international restaurant chain. International. What international chain is going to tell their employees it is okay for you to kill the customers? And in this particular situation, what they're basically arguing is because a woman responded to a messed up order that Tim Horton restaurant employees and representatives should get to kill the customer. That is literally what they're arguing right now, sir. Now that
No,
just don't
no
sound
one
right
killed
in
anyone.
any country, if you ask me.
No one killed anyone.
Your Honor. I think I alluded to something in my opening statement that is essentially being looked over, which is the actual code of the law, which is what we have to judge this case based off, Your Honor.
You're right.
The
Can you
law in and
repeat
of
that one more?
itself,
Can you repeat
yes, the
that
law
that
in and
code one
of
more time?
itself is that, well, it'll be Indiana Code 35-31.5-2-185. But all of it is
Hmm.
under Section 35 of that code. That's where you'll find all of the stand your ground definitions. It states a person is justified in using reasonable force against any other person to protect the person or a third party from what the person reasonably believes to be the imminent use of unlawful force. However, a person is justified in using deadly force and does not have a duty to retreat. Your Honor, once again, once that lady came up to the counter and started making threats towards my client had no duty to retreat.
Uh,
We
there's
don't
no
know
threat.
how far this is going to go. There is a threat. There is a threat. There was
There is
contact. There was
no
a face
threat.
push. There was no attempt on the lady's side to de-escalate the situation. You
Your
don't know what's
Honor,
going to happen next. The lady could have had a gun, Your Honor. The lady could have had mace, Your Honor. The lady could have become more and more aggressive towards my client. And my client does not have to wait until the point where this lady pulls out a gun, to the point where this lady pulls out the mace and maces her. My client can push her away from the counter, and she's well within her right to do that, Your Honor.
that's
I can agree. I can agree.
Now, once it
a lot.
came to the point of the fight, Your Honor, once they got on the floor, my client has the right to neutralize the threat because they're fighting. It is mutual combat.
Now, I do want to say there's a whole lot of speculation in there. No weapons were found on the scene.
No,
Okay,
we
and
don't know
and
that. We don't know that until after the
and
fact. We
brother,
don't know that
I
until after
let
the
you
fact.
state your please. Let me state mine, brother. You ain't got to be that afraid. You ain't got to be that
Okay.
afraid. Yeah, you gonna
For the
lose, but you
record,
ain't got to be afraid of it.
okay.
Okay,
For the record, Your Honor, just we don't know that until after the fact.
for
If
the
the
for the
defendant has
record, Your Honor, there was
Copy.
no weapons
Noted.
found, and we do know that because they investigated, and so far, no weapons have been presented. So obviously, there are no weapons found. Number two, she does have a right to address her grievances. She went into the restaurant to address her grievances. Again, she never crossed that partition, never even made an attempt to cross that partition. I do want to refer to the tape and notice how all the fighting came from the left side, based on how we see the footage. It came from the left side toward the right. The aggression was from the left toward the right. The employees were the aggressors.
No.
The employees started touching grandma. Grandma didn't swing on anybody.
Objection.
I think some evidence.
So grandma had a right to defend herself.
Hold on, fellas. I think some evidence was not presented to the court because we only have two videos. I only have two videos in the description.
Right.
I don't have any moving video of the confrontation. Do you want to submit that, Roger?
Wait a minute. There ain't a fight in the the fight is in the video.
No,
the first one.
No. You're making up stuff.
Did I put the wrong thing in there? Give me 1 second.
You know you're supposed to come with your briefcase filled with all the evidence that you submit in order to fight the case.
Let me make sure.
What we do know
video real quick.
is
my apologies, Yana. My apologies.
It's okay. Dream Team member number one. You could go real quick.
See, what we do know is the aggression came from outside the inside.
They don't believe they're a dream team.
Know that.
Obviously.
we do know that. See, we were just fine in there cooking up Tim Horton good old bland food for the good old white folk out there. That's what we was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Next thing you know, we look up and we hear somebody calling out Becky. Ain't no Becky work here. You understand what I'm saying? So
the video was in there.
This is a it's a bad copy.
What a video it is.
No, it was just the white guy talking about it and then the black guy talking about it. They didn't show any video.
No. When the white guy spoke, they showed the people coming from behind the counter attacking this lady, pushing her toward the right of the screen.
You talking about those shadows nobody could see.
From the left, pushing her toward the right of the screen as they killed her.
Well, listen, objection, Your Honor.
I'm not making that up. The lady's dead, Your Honor.
No. First of all, nobody killed anybody.
Now
she had a medical emergency.
It's good enough for a murder charge, but it's definitely a killing. They literally killed this lady as they pushed her toward the right of the screen.
No. She had a medical emergency.
Because
she had a medical emergency simultaneously.
Literally.
As she brought this aggression from outside inside.
Believe that it's okay to kill some lady just because she went in there and to address some employees about an order, and they don't like the fashion that she addressed the employees in. Remember, there is no footage, so there is no recorded threat at all. There's literally no reason for these women to come out from behind that partition. It never presented itself.
I just reviewed.
Why did she call them a racial slur?
Well, we can't submit. You don't have that evidence to submit. But I just reviewed the video that Roger submitted, and I must say, Grandma did throw the first punch. The hands on the shoulders is always looked at as a de-escalation.
Praise God.
The hands on the shoulder.
Yeah,
Praise God.
She placed two hands on the sides of the woman, like, calm down, miss. And she, as a black woman, overreacts as usual and punched that big white lady in the face.
Praise God.
Your Honor.
Praise God.
I have to say, I mean, I hear where you're coming from, but at the end of the day, we're talking about a woman who's already upset about her order being wrong. That's a very legitimate thing. I'm not going to pretend the lady did not show some signs where we can argue she was upset about what was going on at the time. But we also have to be realistic. We live in a world where if you touch somebody without their permission, that's an assault. It is what it is. That's an assault. Now, to assume she's trying to de-escalate the situation, I'm saying is kind of going a little bit far, especially when a woman is already upset. Why would you touch somebody who is upset in the first place? Now, this is a manager. So I'm going to say she definitely should know better because the manager sets the tone for what the employees can do. If she is going to teach the employees to start touching people that are upset, she is instigating that people should be killed at this particular restaurant. Because unfortunately, everybody don't have it together. And we got to deal with that as a real thing. Okay. As a manager, she honestly, if she didn't want to kill that lady, she would have told that employee to go to the back. She is a manager. She didn't even tell that other employee to go anywhere. Let me handle this. She had all kinds of ways to calm this situation down. She refused to calm the situation down. And she was aggressive because she came from behind that counter toward this old lady who was probably just trying to get the right amount of hazelnut in her coffee. Something real simple.
Your Honor, could I say for the record, could I please state for the record that workplace policy does not supersede state statute?
You're absolutely. You're damn. See, you came in here looking like a goddamn hoodlum, but you're representing very well. I must say, Dream Team member 4. You're definitely representing very well. This damn.
Appreciate you, Your Honor. I appreciate you, Your Honor.
Man.
Yeah. Granny came in there with 25-year-old Keisha energy. You know what I mean? She came with the smoke for them.
Dream Team number 2, you might be on to something.
No, I would say no, because at the end of the day, Your Honor, when it comes down to it, Grandma came in there with words. They took it physical. Grandma never passed the partition. There's literally no reason for them to touch her. There's literally no reason. They are attacking her. And I know that's what it was because, again, the manager stepped in but didn't even tell the employee to move away from the situation. What manager with right intent does not tell the employee to remove themselves from the situation? We're not talking. There's a 17-year-old girl that was a focal point, but the manager, who's not 17, didn't even tell the 17-year-old girl to move away, to back off or anything like that. She thugging it with the 17-year-old girl. Well, that shows intent right there.
Roger, I just watched a video. And you're absolutely right. There's no need for her to attack her. That they could have restrained her. Let me talk this as somebody who's worked at this kind of job.
There's no reason to restrain someone not swinging at anybody.
But she went into I'm fighting. She probably would never have done that with somebody her own age.
So UK Arsenal, can you describe how do you what was the word you used? How do you restrain a person without touching them?
You can restrain a person by putting their hands behind their back. You can hold somebody. She's 75 years old, so she's not gonna be anywhere near stronger than that 17-year-old. You don't have to use. You have to use reason and use your head.
Copy. We got a super chat from Black Uber right now, Roger, if you want to read that one.
Shout out to Black Uber Strikes. I'm gonna say agreeing with me on the company policy side. He says, I know company policy prohibits touching customers. And I agree with that, because I did say that earlier. What restaurant is going to have it where the company policy doesn't say you can't touch the customers? That's just the way it goes. So they got no reason to touch this lady.
Your Honor,
and they're going outside of company policy to even touch this lady. They are literally being aggressors on their own without restaurant representation. I would bet money that any particular corporate leader from Tim Horton Restaurant would easily point out in policy where it is written down, you do not touch the customers. Yet they did what they wanted to do.
This is hearsay,
not
Your
what
Honor.
Tim Hortons told them to do, what they wanted to do.
This is hearsay, Your Honor. This is the state being totally unprepared. Not only did the state admit to not having ever known of a restaurant named Tim Hortons.
So powerful that they understand I'm right.
Hold on. Not even having witnessed such a restaurant. Now he's gonna make up company.
Right I am, and I just want the court to acknowledge that, to notice that.
he gonna make up company policies about a restaurant in which he wasn't even aware existed.
My bad, brother. My bad. He said I missed his super chat. Just
Well,
pulled it
this
up.
is terrible.
He says nothing like working a minimum wage job and dealing with hostile customers.
The state,
and you know what? It probably is a minimum wage job. I don't know that for sure because I've never stopped at a Tim Hortons restaurant. I've never heard of this restaurant. Never paid attention to this restaurant. If I've driven past it, I didn't even pay attention to the fact that I've driven past it. But I am gonna say, even if this is a minimum wage job, and I don't know that for sure because I don't know anything about this restaurant, even if it is a minimum wage job.
Your Honor, you gotta stop this farce. You gotta stop. You gotta stop this. He is using super chats and he's using chats as a filibuster, Your Honor, as a filibuster tactic. You don't see this, Your Honor?
Roger, you can't use super chats to filibuster. They all come from you all.
Come on, man.
You're all wilding out right now.
Yes,
Your Honor. We need you to chill out with that one, okay?
Your Honor. Your Honor, may I ask you a question, Your Honor? May I ask you a question, Your Honor?
Yes, you may. Yes, you may.
Are we in criminal court or are we in civil court?
I would say this is more of a civil case because I don't see any evidence of murder.
My client is being accused of murder.
Yeah, and I don't think
they
haven't
this
presented
is criminal court.
Yeah,
this is criminal court. The point I'm trying to make is
you're right.
I'm trying to make is this. Why are we talking about workplace policy in criminal court?
Yes.
If you don't like the rules that the workplace put at forth to deal with irate customers, go sue them in civil court, please. We're in criminal court, and let's stay focused on that. My client is justified, Your Honor.
Ain't nobody charged nobody at Waffle House for fighting yet.
If a person doesn't want to work at their job because they may have to deal with a disgruntled employee, they just should get a different job. Now, I'm going to read this claim in from Chef Mike. Chef Mike asked me to read this. He says, I have an objection, Your Honor. I object to the Roger Report Live trolling. The Roger Report Live, I am not sure as he is looking for the video, looking at that video. Oh, okay. I'm not sure what eyes he is looking at that video with. I object to that. I mean, at the end of the day, the woman, the two women literally come from behind the counter. Now, one woman, not the 17-year-old, but the manager, is being the aggressor, beating this old lady onto the right side of the footage. The woman literally beats her to the right side of the footage.
Objection. The aggression came from outside the restaurant. Black woman,
she doesn't deserve any justice. Is that what's going on in this particular
inside
case?
The restaurant? The aggression started
beat up to the right side of the screen.
Hold on.
The aggression.
That dark side.
Order in the court. After the dark side goes, we got somebody else coming in. He need to change his name before he gets put up on the stand. But definitely, yeah, we got one more person coming in. So dark side,
the aggression started in the driveway. There was admittedly an argument in the drive-through. So the aggression started in the drive-through. The employees are in the restaurant. The customers outside the restaurant.
Dark side. Is he talking?
Absolutely. If you can't hear me, that's your
he's
problem.
not talking. But wow. We do have another guest. I hate to tell you, but Shark.
This is what we're doing.
Excuse me. Detective Sims is the judge in this particular case, my brother. So
you can't hear me.
There's an issue with your name that he's making an issue with. I'm gonna give him the right to do that because he is the judge for today for being the first one up. So
no, he could rock with the name. I ain't gonna be petty. He know we gonna do our damn thing.
Okay. Well, shout out to I can't see the whole thing. Knicks ain't doing. I'm gonna say nothing. I ain't cursing. Knicks ain't doing nothing and I can't see the rest of it.
In the finals.
All right. Well, present your case, goddammit. He already came in here with that ball stuff.
My Knicks ain't doing nothing in the finals. Roger, please introduce me properly.
Anti-Knicks fan. Are you there?
Knicks ain't doing nothing in the finals.
Judge
Come on
Sims,
in here and
he
get
is definitely Judge Sims. He's definitely on Rogers'
That
side
probably
with a
makes
name like
sense.
that.
Makes sense.
He's definitely on Rogers' side with a name like that.
But
Definitely on Rogers' side.
But let's hear him out. Let's hear him out. Knicks ain't doing
Okay,
nothing
so
in
I'm
the
gonna give
finals.
my opening statement.
I don't hear him, and I'm not playing.
You don't hear him?
You can't hear me?
He's speaking.
Yeah, I hear
Yes.
him.
No, I can't hear him. Who's speaking right now?
Okay, maybe that's me. Okay, my bad. My bad. No
I
disrespect.
can't hear nobody
I don't hear shit.
past Great Black Reset.
I don't hear shit.
He ain't talk yet.
I don't hear shit.
So
Knicks ain't
anyway,
doing nothing.
I'm gonna please give my opening statement.
Okay, maybe let's get Beatty Starks Enterprises in then.
No, you what? No, I'm talking.
No, Roger, it might be you if you don't hear him. I hear him.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna dip and come back. Must be me.
Roger
My apologies to the
Roger
court.
can't hear nobody. He's talking over everybody today, man. He can't hear nobody.
All right, can I go?
Do your thing.
I appreciate it. So first and foremost, man, please the court. My opening statement is as follows. So first of all, I would like to give condolences to the family of the elderly woman. At 70 years old, you know, it's really a shame that people don't respect that age because being the elderly, she's an elderly woman, not even a senior. She's elderly. I mean, she's probably older than some patches of dirt somewhere. And at that age, you should be able to do what you want to do. If you want to walk butt naked down the road at 75, you have earned that right. When I get 75, I'm doing cocaine in an orgy in front of a Tim Hortons. So at the end of the day, you have that right. But, ladies and gentlemen, what you don't have a right to do is hit a hoe like Mike Tyson Punch Out. Because when she gave her that right hook, her head went up and her mouth opened up like she was a Glass Joe in round one. Now, did the white woman did push her, but the white woman didn't physically harm her.
Copy.
The senior woman replied with a right hook to chin, like she was Mac in Mike Tyson Punch Out. And then the white woman responded, or the white young woman responded. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I can't say that this was murder. And at the end of the day, are we really going to erase a 20-year-old white woman's potential over some nigga?
Oh no, you can't use that word in the court. You could just
over some black woman.
There you go. Thank
you. Over round and shout.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
I'm rendering my plane right now. I'm rendering my plane right now. So at the end of the day, as much as I appreciate this 70-year-old woman, and I'm gonna be wilding out if I can make it to 75. I'm doing cocaine. I'm sniffing stuff off of titties, and I might even start licking women's butt like Bronx do right now. But at the end of the day,
lay your plane. Hurry up, man.
At the end of the day, the white woman was defending herself. It can't be murder.
Gotcha.
Your Honor, can I say this right quick?
Yeah, we got another person.
This 75-year-old, she's not an elder. That's a bitch. That's an old bitch. That's not elderly conduct. Who want to squabble because your order got messed up? That's not elderly conduct. That's Keisha. That's some Keisha behavior.
Bitch is permissible in court. I'll give you that. Next person.
After the new person.
Copy. Granted.
Hey y'all, thanks for having me up. Long live the virtual line steppers. Yay. I got to put my 10-4 Cooper hat on here on Tuesday. Say this is a situation where the elderly lady, she placed the order in drive-through, and maybe the young lady that was taking the order, the young white girl, that was taking the order was not paying attention. Because I've experienced that a lot early in the morning. They don't pay attention and get your order wrong, and then get mad at you with their forms of disrationality, as if you were wrong for correcting them. She might have had that complex, but Granny was already pumped up. Granny, adrenaline already flowing when she goes into the restaurant. But she didn't have to step behind the counter. She could have made her approach. But if she wanted to get belligerent, she could have did it from the door. Like, B, I told you my order was wrong, and you're going to get it right. Or you're going to give me a refund. Or I need to see a supervisor. I need to see a manager. Put them on the phone. Y'all got cell phones. Y'all got numbers to call folks. If I can't get my situation satisfied, I need to talk to your superior. She should have never really approached them. And then also, they shouldn't have put their hands on her. As you get older, people have a tendency to not keep a good center of balance. And who's to say? Granny probably was trying to get her stuff right to take some medicine. But maybe some Tourette's. And probably did catch a blue streak in there. But there's recordings of the drive-through order. So we would have to know that evidence will have to be introduced as far as what was said on that drive-through order to prompt her to even go into the restaurant or coffee shop. And then the other thing was, where the hell were the cops this early in the morning at 8:15? They on shift already. They should be prepared to go get a donut and some coffee. I'm sorry, that threw a stereotype out there, but I land my plane there. Thanks for having me up, y'all. Yeah.
Well, to address the case of center of gravity, you got to have a good center of gravity to throw a right hook like Grandma did. That thing was vicious.
Let me read these super chats.
I ain't never seen a balanced nigga throw a knockout punch.
Shout out to Trail Bentley. I appreciate the 57-cent Trail Bentley tax as well. He says civil restitution is often only the only recourse for justice when criminal cases are ambiguous, left to the discretion of the prosecutors. I say that horrible, but left to the discretion of the prosecutors. Okay.
You've been speaking horribly all day.
Not at all. Shout out to Black Uru Strikes. He says in a criminal case, they are going to cite company policy, because employees are agents of the company. The policy may be used to judge the degree of criminality. And of course, the policy is going to say you do not touch customers. The policy is going to say that. We know that for sure. The policy is going to say we do not touch the customers. So I just want to say, these people are working on their own. They're not supposed to be touching customers. Anyone who has a job knows you do not touch the patrons of the job you happen to have, whether it's in the restaurant business or any other kind of business. It is not company policy to beat up and kill customers.
Your Honor, I like to
That's what they did.
Point out,
and
Your Honor, I like to once again. I like to
hold
once
on,
again
bro.
point out. Go ahead.
Hold on, bro.
That partition, they came from left to right.
Some evidence that's going to win this case.
They came from left to right. The older woman, 75 years old, did not go from right to left. They went from left to right. They are clearly the aggressors.
All right, Dark Style, before you submit the evidence, I do want to say this, Your Honor. Once again, procedurally speaking and legally speaking, company policy does not supersede state law, okay? So if they want to sue the company based off of their policy and their employee not listening to that policy, they're going to have to do that in the civil court. For the sake of criminal court, we are here to defend my client against the murder charge that is being charged against them by the state.
Agreed.
I like to enter this new evidence. I believe Rowdy Shouty was a Knicks fan, because the Knicks are finally back in the finals, bringing great basketball back to the NBA once again. And after they win the finals, from borough to borough to borough to borough, all the way to Times Square. It's gonna be the rowdiest party the world has ever seen. Trust me. Rowdy Shouty was just kicking it off first. And I land my plane there.
She's too dead to see the outcome. And I'm gonna say, I have an objection because Bronk is throwing stuff out there as if it matters. And he's saying something that it doesn't matter. The only thing you get to do is defend yourself. There was never a defense that needed to be mounted because grandma did not go from right to left on the screen. The employees went from left to right. They were the aggressors. They moved toward her direction. She did not move toward their direction. They came from the partition. She did not. They were the aggressors. So he keeps insinuating or implying some nonsense as if this elderly woman who was 75 years old aggressively attacked the 2-on-1 situation. She did not attack this 2-on-1 situation. Number one, she was outnumbered and she's old. Why would she be the aggressor? Plus, the aggressor is a person coming towards you, not the person backing away. And as the footage shows, only one person backed up.
Yeah, the lady that got punched in the face.
Your Honor, please forgive the prosecuting team for their failure to read state statute. Because if they read the state statute, it specifically states that my client does not have a duty to retreat. So why are we even talking about who backed up and who didn't?
A duty to retreat implies that you are not the aggressor.
My client was not the aggressor.
They went from left to right on that screen. They were the clear aggressor.
The aggressor parked her car, walked into the fast food spot, and approached my client.
So Bronk is trying to say a customer can't even address a fast food restaurant for messing up their order. That's literally what he's arguing now.
They can get a number, and they can call a manager like a normal person.
She literally talked to the manager, killed her.
No, Roger, I don't know about that one.
The lady who got between them, they say that's the manager. The manager killed her. No. Now, it may not be a convenient situation, but it is the situation.
Your Honor, the order was placed outside. Hold on. The order was placed.
Before you say that, shout out to Trail Bentley for the super chat. He says manslaughter. Manslaughter is not murder. Okay, shout out to you, Mr. Bentley, and thank you for the 57 cent Trail Bentley tax. Appreciate you.
Your Honor, the order was placed outside. Had the employee went outside to face off with the customer or to confront the customer, then the employee would have been the aggressor. But the employee, after placing their order, came inside to escalate the situation. She's the aggressor.
I like to add, Your Honor, that if I'm having trouble with the manager themselves, my next step is to talk to their superior. My next step is to talk to their superior, not to try to fight the manager. And that's what I believe a reasonable person would do in that situation, unless they want to escalate a situation and they want to engage in physical contact with someone.
Great, that's a great point. But we do realize this is a rowdy shouty. They don't operate like that.
And I like to say, if you ain't a Knicks fan, you ain't a basketball fan.
I agree with that. Thank you for the flowers and the donut. I appreciate that.
That's what we do here at Tim Horton. That's what we do.
Now, obviously, the council's trying
to bury people too at Tim Horton.
Grab the judge.
And y'all bury him.
You know, I'm gonna look past that. At the end of the day, it is proper for a person to address a restaurant at the restaurant they're in. If you are in the drive-thru, you do not hold up the entire drive-thru line. No, you go inside. That is the proper thing to do. You could have just sat there at the drive-thru and stopping the business from even getting business, like an a-hole. or you could just park your vehicle and go inside like you have some sense. And that's what the woman did. Unfortunately, she met the death squad when she got there. She wasn't expecting to meet the death squad. She wasn't trying to go see the Lord on that day. I'm sure she wanted to see the Lord at some point in time, but I don't think she was looking to see the Lord on that day, especially at no Tim Hortons restaurant. Who wants to die in a restaurant?
What was
So
her intent? What was her intent leading with
so
that right hook?
we got folks who are arguing that this old lady went into the restaurant to die, which was clearly not the case. She was simply upset about an order, addressed the order. The manager wouldn't even tell the young lady to step to the back or anything like that. She was happy with her being an aggressor with her. This was, we're jumping this old lady. That's
Did
what
she
happened in that
address?
video.
Did she
They
address the
decided to
order
jump this
before
old
or
lady.
after the right hook? Did she address it before or after the right hook
They
that
jumped
started the fight?
her. They jumped her.
No, no. Well, I just want to be clear. Did she address the order before she threw the right hook or afterwards?
The right hook happened because they jumped her.
No, Roger, come on. That was not shown in the evidence that was submitted.
What
Your
video
Honor,
did y'all see?
I would say the state doesn't even have proper counsel because chronologically he can't even understand what happened here. Rowdy Shouty came in there, you know, and set up like Roy Jones and threw, Captain Hook. I mean, what we talking about?
She said you better watch for the hook.
If they didn't start none, it wouldn't have been none.
Mm.
As the video showed, she went there and she talked. She stayed on one side of that partition the entire time, and then they start pushing her. They move forward. Now she has a right to push them off them as they are going toward her, because that's what happened. They touched her and start moving up toward her. That's a person going to fight you. Let's
So,
be realistic.
but we still need.
Who is going to allow someone yelling at them, already touching them, and moving at them to get
But
all up in them
we
and do
we
whatever they
still
want to
need
do to them?
we still need clarity. Did she address the problem before or after she started the fight with the right hook?
She didn't start the fight with the right hook. The fight was
Oh,
start. The fight was started when the people behind the petition decided to go beyond the petition and start pushing on her.
I think she was
Y'all need
defending
to look at the
herself because
video.
she realized they was hopped up on espresso and probably being belligerent. And she said, "I need to bring my slavery arm for this one."
No, the thing is, y'all need to really look at this video. She's on one side of the petition. She's not trying. Now the lady started pushing her. After she pushed her, she moved up in her face again as she was coming on the other side of the partition. The lady was literally
come on,
going to beat
man.
her up. And the old
Man,
lady
this
defended herself, and they just didn't expect it, so they killed her.
man, this is Miss Seeley fighting Harpo, man. Come on, man. This woman came in there
Your Honor,
ready.
Your Honor, Your Honor, Your Honor. Can I ask you a question?
Before you ask this question, we got a super chat. Shout out to Black Rule Strikes. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. He says there are violations of company policy led to an encounter whereby an elderly woman died. The most definitely there's most definitely relevance in a criminal case. That is most definitely relevant in a criminal case. And I'm gonna say, yeah, there was criminal activity afoot. They literally killed this lady.
I'm going to change the question that I asked you, Your Honor. I'm going to change the question that I asked. Okay. If it's workplace policy for me not to have my firearm inside of the job, and I'm working a shift, and someone comes in on my shift with the firearm and starts shooting up the place, I violated work policy, but I ran and grabbed my gun to neutralize the threat.
Okay,
This is why this is why company policy does not supersede state law. Yes, it might have violated company policy to bring that gun in there, right? I could get fired from my job for that. because they told me I'm not supposed to have a gun in there. But can they then go to the state and get me charged by the state for defending the other lives if someone comes in there with a gun and I just happen to have my gun?
Yeah, you can. If we want to be realistic, yes, they can. And I'm gonna say that when it comes down to it, he's still
Can I
trying to
be
present it
charged?
as if they didn't attack the lady. The lady didn't touch them; they touched her. They literally attacked her. Period. They
Because
So the
came
right
from
hook that's
behind.
she was
They
so
she
you
was
came from
you say
advancing
behind
on
that
them.
partition to attack her,
you
and
saying
they
the
were
right
mad
hook
because she
didn't
defended herself.
so you saying the right hook that started the fight didn't land. That's what you
What?
saying?
No. What I'm saying is that right hook was defense because they were coming from beyond the partition. It's clear in the
No, no,
video.
no.
No,
And
well,
defense
she
you
advanced on the
parry.
partition.
She
You
does
block.
not she does
Right
not
hooks
have
are
to
offensive,
retreat.
sir.
She does not have to retreat. They're the one coming from behind the partition. She ain't going back there. They coming out from the back.
She
She
walked in the she
she
walked in the
she
restaurant
she
towards them and started
yeah.
engaging in argument and
She walked
confrontation with
into
them.
She
a restaurant
she
where people are allowed to
advanced.
walk in,
She advanced from the parking lot to inside the restaurant with a problem she had at the drive-through.
which
So the
she's
problem had
allowed to
already
do.
developed.
She's allowed to do. And no, the problem
And she
developed when they got an order wrong. That's what
and
developed
she
the
led
problem.
and she led the conversation with a right hook.
Shout out to
Has
Perfect Timing Podcast. He says
Yeah, I
blacks
read
have
that
been
too.
punished for speak. Excuse me. Blacks have been punished for speaking. They were upset that she even spoke. Okay, and you know what? That wasn't even the one I wanted to highlight. That was an accident. It was something else. Perfect Timing said that what was it? When is a black person allowed to be angry without the punishment of death? This is unique to black. Shout out to Perfect Time Podcast. That's what I meant to highlight, brother. That's what I meant to highlight. Which it seems like these other gentlemen believe that shit is always the answer when you're black. That's what they're arguing. Death is always the proper answer when you're black. When you black, they get to come from behind the counter to whoop you, and you're supposed to just take. Now
Your Honor, Your Honor,
it's not
Your Honor,
enough
Your Honor,
that
my
she
heart,
dead. They think
I
she
have a
wasn't even supposed to try to defend herself.
Your
I have
Honor,
a
while my heart does go out to the elderly lady who lost her life and her family, emotions are not on trial here. Okay?
I agree.
Whether or not my client violated Indiana Code 35, that is what's on trial. So if there's a emotional burden or any punitive damages that you want to seek, once again, that is a place for the or civil court. That is not what we are here for right now.
The woman
Okay.
literally came from behind the counter to whoop her. Why are you talking about feelings
Your
and
your client
emotions?
your client literally parked her car after having an argument in the drive-through and then walked into the building and continued that argument and walked to the partition that was
No. She
separating
went to
her from my
address it
client.
where she went to address it where she should address, which is she parked her car instead of trying to hold up the whole
They
restaurant's
were in
business.
full-blown argument mode when she got out of her car and walked into the building and
You're
escalated the
literally making
situation.
that up because there's no footage of that.
Well, when you look at
Your Honor, can
the
I
foot,
ask, has there
hold
been
on.
any audio submitted as evidence to the courtroom?
No, it hasn't. But when you look at the footage, and you look at this picture that we're looking at right now on the screen. If you was addressing the problem the correct way, you would be standing in front of the napkin holder and the register. It is literally aggression to come around to that partition.
Well,
was
I do want to acknowledge the partition, and ain't this a heck of a picture? Notice how the partition is being opened up toward the lobby of the restaurant, not
that's the only
not
way it opens.
not the
That's
partition
that's
being opened from the lobby toward the people in the back.
that's the only way it opens, y'all. That's the only way it
No, it's
opens.
not
Yes.
because it swings.
No, that's the only way it opens.
No. The customer swings. The partition opens. Just to be clear. Let's be clear what's going on here. Now,
Your
the
Honor,
most important,
Honor,
important question of all, Your Honor,
Your Honor, may I
Knicks in
say something?
5 or 6.
Your Honor, because I don't know, this is like unorganized, so I want to say something, Your Honor.
You can
Let's
go.
review the facts. Fact number 1, the order was messed up. Fact number 2, the woman comes in, waving her finger, yelling at the supervisor. Fact number 3.
Called her Becky too. Called her Becky.
Number 3, the woman start yelling at the other woman. Fact number 4, the supervisor steps in front to de-escalate the situation.
Yes.
Fact number 5, the woman put her hands in front to again de-escalate the situation. Fact number 6, this elderly woman slips on brass knuckles and then went to work.
Yes.
Yeah, Your Honor, I just reviewed the footage.
So how is this murder when she was defending herself? Because once she took the right hook from Little Mac, right? Once that black woman put everybody in the Mike Tyson Punch-Out video game, how is this anything but self-defense?
Now, Your Honor, I'm going to say respectfully, I just reviewed the footage. The partition swings in both directions, like I said. Notice, even though it swings in both directions, it is swinging outward toward the lobby instead of inward toward the back where people were. So it's clear that the aggression was coming from the left side of the screen to the right side because they wanted to kill Grandma. Now I don't know why they wanted to kill Grandma, but that's what they wanted to do, and they got the job done. It's not even a mystery on did they want to kill her because they killed her. You see what I'm saying? I only have to think, did they really want to kill her? Because she dead. If she didn't die, I would have to guess, did they want to kill her or not? But since she's dead, that's not even a question. Yes, they wanted to kill her. And again, there was no de-escalation at all, because if there was a de-escalation, the manager would have sent the employee away. There was no de-escalation. That manager was making sure numbers were on her side.
I can agree.
Your
Knicks
Honor,
ain't doing nothing in the finals.
This is false information. First of all, when white people want to kill a black person normally swinging in a tree. This woman ain't swinging in a tree. Or you get shot.
Facts.
Or you get shot. Neither. So when white people want to kill, that's what we see. So the other side is just gaslighting the jury because they know they don't have a case. She came in angry. She came in waving her
As
finger.
black women do.
And at the end of the day, she came in punching. She punched first.
Yeah.
Your Honor, when have you ever known a black woman to be non-aggressive? That's the real issue here. What we're really talking about. When have you ever witnessed a non-aggressive black woman anywhere at any time in this country?
And see, and that's the problem. They are trying to use what other people did against this particular woman.
Your Honor, can I say this right quick?
Hold on, let Granny make me do it.
Go ahead.
Well, the good thing is, her family finally gonna be able to get that life insurance money. I think that's a good outcome.
Yeah, she gonna get paid, but don't ruin a white woman. Don't put a woman in jail for defending herself. She's gonna get paid, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, now I'm gonna say,
Your Honor. Can I say this really fast, Your Honor?
Don't ruin the black food at Tim Horton because of it.
So here's the thing, Your Honor, and if you will, can I please cite at least 2 major cases that we know of involving stand your ground? Could I admit that into the court, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Okay, so we have a situation where we had a Michael Brown and a Darren Wilson at one point. Story's kind of similar, right? Because we're talking about a partition that was separating them. At the time, that was the police officer's door. Right?
Yep.
Now, it was stated that Michael Brown reached his arm into the vehicle, in between him and the officer and began to strike the officer at
Uh,
a force that the officer said stated
did we
was
have
like
footage of that,
hope.
or
Was
is
like
that just
hope.
speculation?
I'm just using it to cite other cases. I asked the judge permission to
We're
admit
talking
this in
about
the court,
speculation, though.
but we have no audio. We're all speculating, correct?
No,
Are you the
no. In
judge?
this case,
Are
we're
you
talking about
are
what
you the
did and didn't
judge?
happen.
I asked the
Are you the
judge
judge?
if
Or
there was
are
any
you still
audio.
filibustering?
I asked, was there any audio that was permitted into the courtroom up to this point, and there was none. So we're all kind of speculating on what was said, who was the aggressor, and so now I'm trying to cite other cases that gives us some clarification of what might happen and what the outcome of those cases were. Is that fair?
Very
You,
fair.
he's using speculation
You-
for speculation.
Objection.
are you telling the judge how to run
I'm asking a
his
question.
bench?
I'm
You
asking a
know how to
question.
run his bench? No, you challenging the judge ruling. That's
No,
what it
I'm
sounds
asking
like
a
to me.
question.
I object, Your Honor. I have other information. I have another
Six and
video that
five.
shows the whole interaction. How the 75-year-old lady, she came in. There was someone already at the Tim Hortons. She had tried to approach from the left side, which is, we don't see this in the partition because go further back to the left. It wraps around like an L. And she waited for about 3 to 5 minutes before she was even addressed. Even after the other customer was gone. She went from right next to the customer to the partition, the glass partition, to get attention again. So she basically spent all this time trying to get attention. The manager is the one coming up, popping off, as we can see in the video. And this lady, she didn't come in hot. She just sashayed on in, all like somebody full from after having a church meal, and try to get the situation handled. But that's enough time for the employees. What's this broad doing in here? That's the one that was in the drive-through. We can get an order right. And then the person actually took her order was another skinny chick. She's the one with the headset on. So I guess she was coming in to address the fact that the information wasn't disseminated right from the person wearing the headset to the person making the order. And now she's dead.
A whole lot of guessing going on, Your Honor.
No.
No, I'm watching the video.
Guessing.
Actually watching a video.
There's footage
It's
of
a
that,
video
brother.
on 27 News WKOW.
Yes, brother. There's actual footage. I didn't put all that in there, but there's footage of it, brother. There's footage. At the end of the day, the employees were supposed to de-escalate.
She's trying to get up.
Instead of de-escalating, they decided to escalate. And they tried to get the numbers on their side so this lady can get jumped. And that's just what it is. Now, I'm going to say shout out to Black Huru Strikes for the super chat. Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much, y'all. Now, listen, y'all. This is your elder talking. He said, seriously. Hold on. Black Huru Strikes said, seriously, all jokes aside, do we really want to foster an environment where white people feel empowered to attack old black people? In Trump's America, I think that's very legitimate questions. And I'm going to say, I believe the answer is no. And based on the footage shown, I don't understand how we can't see that this old lady got jumped.
Well,
Your Honor, this has become a trial of emotions and perspectives.
Emotions, perspectives, and race baiting. I can agree.
I don't understand how it can be a trial of emotion when we physically see they aggress her. We physically see that. What the emotions got to do with this?
She threw the first punch. She literally threw the first aggressive. She was the first aggressor.
The fight had already started when she threw her punch.
No.
I mean, go look at the footage and look how they're already pushing her and coming out from behind that partition. The fight started. The old lady was just fast enough, luckily for her, but then still unluckily because she still ended up getting killed. Luckily for her, it didn't go as bad as we thought it would have went because she responded to the attack. If you look at the footage, you clearly see them attacking her. She's being pushed while they're coming out from behind the partition, the fight started already. Now, am I the only person that saw that?
Yes.
What I saw from my angle, because we have no audio. What I saw was my client try to push the lady back from her because the lady was pretty close. Now, you bring up the partition as if that's really relevant because there wasn't a lot of distance between the client and the elderly lady. She was she was close enough to swing and push her top back.
So what you're saying is the restaurant manager could have moved back and didn't?
What? No, 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 no.
That's
That's
what it
not how
sounded
that
like you
works.
just said.
Without retreat, without retreat,
She didn't. She wasn't under
she
attack
had
though.
no duty.
She
Had no
wasn't under
duty.
attack. She wasn't under
Well,
attack. But you know
she
who
got
was under
attacked.
attack?
She got
What?
attacked. She didn't
No,
come from behind the
they
partition until
pushed
she was
her.
punched.
If you look at the footage, they pushed her as they were crossing that partition. They started to fight.
Your Honor.
Speak.
Well, the prosecution is very animate. The prosecution forgets one thing. The woman had her finger in the white woman's face. The white woman was pushing her away so that the object would not poke her in the eye.
They're not listening.
The black woman was the aggressor from the start, coming over, walking onto the side, not being behind the cash register, but walking around to the side of the petition, putting her finger in the woman's face. And the woman's natural reaction, as anyone's natural reaction, is to push someone away from you that has their finger in your face.
Okay, and I want to say, even if we were going to
move, that is a defense move, not an aggression move. But aggression move would have been a right hook to the chin.
I'm going to say, even if you believe that nonsense, at the end of the day, there was nothing going on but them wanting to set up to attack her because they had the entire back to walk away from that. The lady had all that space. There was no one was there to stop them from backing up if they thought the lady was too close to them. No, they wanted to be close.
That also happened.
No, they never backed up.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Because once the lady once the manager pushed the lady away, then the black lady started to get in the other woman's face, and the supervisor pushed the employee back. So there's your step back, and got in the way.
And then pushed that, and then she pushed that 75-year-old.
So at the end of the day, the employees were showing submission and retreat.
Not by pushing the 75-year-old.
One of the employee pushed the other employee behind, stepped in the middle to de-escalate the situation, and then she put her fingers in her hand, and then she gave a natural reaction, and then after that natural reaction, the 70-year-old decided to say, you know what, it's punch out time. It started.
Can I read this letter that was submitted to the court? Mm-hmm. Shandika Grayson claims Anita, that is not a weak and fragile woman. That is the same aggression she took out on my mom and aunt for years.
There you go.
I don't understand what that has to do with this case at all. A case is about what happened at the particular point in time. Is something happened, not something that happened in yesteryear.
We are establishing a pattern of behavior.
Yes, we are.
That's what we're doing.
No.
I want to address the race. Your Honor, can I address the race painting here?
You go to trial, it's supposed to be about what you did. That
Roger, your outbursts will not be tolerated any longer. You got 2 more
chances.
Thank you,
Your Honor.
As to be in contempt.
Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Here's the situation. Now about the race painting. Do we want to create a world in Trump's America? Number 1, Trump is going in 2 days. Number 2, she's going to get in simple court. This woman will get her money. Her family will get this money where everybody can light up splits, do a little bit of cocaine, go to a strip club, and have a great time. Justice will be rendered. But however, this is not justice for a woman to defend herself in the midst of a irate customer. Because what you're setting the precedent for is this: customers can now walk up into any fast food establishment and start punching people.
I agree, Roger.
Look, the only thing that happened here was that the woman who should have been in control and sent the employee back, the manager didn't do it, and the manager literally pushed the old lady as she was coming into the lobby area. It is on footage. She's literally pushing the old lady as she's entering the lobby area. That is called aggression. And the woman simply defended herself, which I understand a lot of y'all may be surprised that this 75-year-old woman would defend herself and acting like she shouldn't have the right to do so. There was only one person to stand their ground, which was the 75-year-old woman, because she did not create the physical altercation. They literally did that because it is clear as she came out the partition, she put her hands on the lady and started pushing her back. She literally made it physical.
Yeah, your honor, Roger Report is right, because at the end of the day, the employees were the ones who attacked first.
Your Honor. Could you please have the
Hold on, Brock.
Could you please have the
Brock.
prosecuting team answer a question after he's done?
Yes, I got you.
Right.
Finish the statement, please.
So at the end of the day, you can't do that. I've been in situations with customers, and you cannot just retort to violence like this, because you have to consider, once she's a 75-year-old, you have to consider their age, and their protocols where they could have called the police, and it's simple. If there is a situation as a manager, there's a situation where a customer is looking, the first thing you do is you let the customer know that the police will be called.
She didn't know how old she was before she got there. She didn't know how old she was before she got there. Why they got to consider it?
She got beat from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen. Period. What more do you need?
Well, what I'm going to say, if this was a white woman, I don't think that they would have done this.
Well, my thing is, regardless of who's involved, regardless of the ages involved, when you come from behind a partition, putting your hands on somebody else, physically pushing them, attempting to knock them down, guess what? If you're the person being pushed, you are in a fight. And they are saying that this old lady who was forced into a fight should not defend herself. This is ridiculous. She's the only one that had a ground to stand.
We don't know what she said. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know whether she assaulted them.
Let me just add to what Roger said.
What I'm saying is not a guess. It's on footage.
Yeah, I know. What I'm saying is self-defense means you react to defend yourself. You don't attack. So it's past self-defense. So they didn't try to put her into a restraining position or do one shot. They did multiple shots.
That is not what self-defense is. Okay, you can for self-defense, if someone is attacking you, you don't have to sit there and guess at what level they're trying to attack you at. Okay,
Bro, if I push you where you're physically being pushed back,
what you're missing is that
are you being attacked or not?
Let me ask you this question.
Before you ask me, I'm asking you, if I put my hands on you where I'm pushing you back, am I attacking you? Yes or no?
Who struck first?
Who was the aggressor?
Who struck first?
If you put a finger in my face, if you put a finger in my face, if you put a finger in my face.
To answer Roger's question, that is not an attack. If you come up in someone's face and they push you back out of their face, that is not them attacking you.
Thank you.
You literally have started the attack by getting in a person's face. You do have something that is granted to you called personal space. And since COVID has been implemented into our lives,
the push happened, but then the punches came.
No,
you can maybe say self-defense because the finger in the face. After that,
Your Honor, could you please have the opposing counsel answer a question for me, please?
Present your question.
Who was the first person that was pushed
The old lady
in the video?
The
No, no,
old
no, no,
lady.
no, 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 no. There was someone who was pushed before the old lady. Remember?
You talking about when the manager pushed the employee?
Yes, exactly. So the manager pushes the employee back
Yeah,
out of
she
the
wanted
way
first
first.
dibs. She wanted
No,
first dibs.
in an attempt to protect
Raj is wild.
her employee.
No, she didn't. If
In,
she was
in
trying
an
to protect
attempt,
the employee, she would have sent her to the
in an
back.
attempt to protect her employee from an
It was not.
aggressive lady who walked into the store and started putting her finger in people's face and yelling at them and possibly cussing at them. We don't know. We don't have the audio, right? The
First of
manager
all,
comes
that is
in.
not
The
criminal
manager
activity,
steps
nor is it
in.
illegal.
Listen. The manager steps in, pushes her employee out of the way to try to address the matter herself, and then pushes the lady back to try to create some more distance between her employees and this lady. As a response to the manager pushing the lady back to create space, the lady then punches the manager full swing in the face.
That's not accurate.
That's what I
No,
saw in the video.
A manager trying to
the
create
manager
space
should have held
a
the employee
manager
back
trying to
and
create
called the
space
police.
would have told her employee that has to answer to her to go to the back. That's how you create space as a manager. So she was not trying to create space. What she was doing was trying to be the aggressor, and she wanted to be the one to get the first of the king. All she had to do was tell that employee to go sit down somewhere, and she did not do that when she could have. Gone back to the back. You know what I'm saying? She could have went to back to where they hang up their coat. She could have sent that employee to the area that no one's allowed to go in. Not that people in the lobby is allowed to come past the lobby anyway, and not that the old lady ever made a move to try to get beyond the lobby. They came from the back into the lobby as they were pushing her.
And Your Honor, once again, this is why it's very relevant to state, again, for the record, that Tim Horton is not being civilly sued in this matter. My client is being charged for manslaughter.
Okay.
Well, the thing is, that's not true because it's still new and anything can happen up to this point.
Well, but if Tim Horton is going to be charged with anything, it will be in a civil court for punitive damages.
I mean, that's your guess.
Because their employee failed to adhere to company policy. As for the criminal cases, however, under Indiana code, my client has the right to defend herself.
Yes.
And that's what she was doing.
And she was not attacked. She came out from behind the counter to attack that old lady. She came
out to de-escalate the situation.
No, she didn't.
By the fact that she pushed her employee out of the way first.
No, if she wanted to de-escalate, if she wanted to de-escalate the situation, she would have sent the employee to the back, which she did not do.
Your Honor,
speak, please.
Okay, listen. The customer came from outside to inside to attack the employees. That is the truth. The story doesn't start at the petition. The story starts at the drive-thru. And the employees were inside the building. The customer was outside the building. The customer came inside the building to attack the employees, and that is factual because we see it when she comes up to them, putting her finger in their faces, yelling at them. This is absolutely self-defense.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, that's not true. The woman came in the restaurant calmly and coolly. You know, no, she actually did because she did. She actually did. Yeah. She actually did. That's not even a joke. She did come in the restaurant literally calmly and coolly. It took them a while to address her. And at the end of the day, she did the proper thing. Not hold up the drive-through like some kind of a-hole just because she had a problem with her order. She parked her vehicle and walked in there to address the problem like a person should do.
No, she parked because she wanted to start punching.
If she wanted to start punching, she would have went in there punching instead of only punching when she was getting pushed.
She did, but
That's
it didn't
not
go punch.
typically how someone who wants to actually land a punch on someone goes
She
about doing it.
no push
As a
was
matter of
thrown
fact,
until she was under
she's the
attack. No
as
punch
a
was
matter of
thrown
fact,
until she
she's
was
the only
under
one
attack.
that threw a punch. She's the only one threw a punch.
No,
Nobody
she's
else threw a
not.
punch.
When they was on the floor, punches were thrown. The thing is, they pushed her all the way across, and because the lady started defending herself, which I can understand, people could be shocked that this 75-year-old lady started defending herself, but that does not mean she don't have the right to do it just because she's 75. And that's how this is being addressed. Because she's 75, she don't get to defend herself. So I guess self-defense is only for young people.
No, you
Your
get
Honor.
it doesn't. Even if you're 75, you're allowed to start a fight.
With
She
that,
started a fight.
she was being pushed to the floor. The ladies tried to push her to the floor, and she started punching. I see no problem with that at all.
Your Honor, I'm gonna just leave you with this. The prosecution, from their own word, says if you don't have a husband, then you deserve to get what you get. Her husband is not there. So according to his own words, she deserves to get what she get.
She's uncovered.
She's
Yeah,
uncovered.
Unruly.
that's
Let,
strong.
let me let me
That's strong. That's strong right there. That's strong.
let me let, let, let,
Uncovered.
let
Yet
me
not a part of
And
this
let me
unruly.
particular case.
let me address this real
Hold on,
quick.
before you address it, shout out to Trail Bentley. Appreciate the super chat, my brother. And appreciate the 57-cent Trail Bentley tax. He says, Roger, and you think more Negroes should be on jury? Hey, this is not the time or the place, Mr. Bentley. This is not the time nor the place. All right, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Even
Well,
even the chat is calling Roger out right now. Come on.
No, they're not.
Yo, Roger said,
That's
"No, they
calling
not."
y'all out. That's calling y'all out. He's saying, do I think
no.
people like y'all should be on juries?
Okay, but
Absolutely.
let me ask you all this. Y'all personally, have you ever had to deal with your order being wronged before?
Yes.
I never had to hit somebody over it.
Yeah,
Okay,
Uru be wrong all the
okay,
time.
okay.
We ain't
How
hit
many
Uber.
time? How many time did you either whoop somebody's ass or got your ass whooped because
Zero.
your order got wrong?
Zero.
Zero.
But
Zero.
okay, but
I have social credit, sir.
how many time did y'all address it and it got fixed?
Every
Plenty
Several
time.
of
times.
time.
Okay. So did y'all have to resort to physical violence to
No.
get your
And I
point
and,
No,
across?
sir. No,
and
sir.
I go to the cash register
No.
to address it. I either get my money back or I get their order fixed. I don't know what
Thank
she's
you.
doing over there at the partition.
She was
The-
over
This
there
is
getting pushed
this
down
is
to the floor.
this is the same energy that they use to justify tearing down stores.
Good
Now,
point.
now I'm
It's
gonna
that
say,
same energy. They felt that they've been wrong, and that's a justification for them to tear down stores, beat down people. We're not setting an example of customers beating employees. These employees are not being paid enough to deal with these Ku Klux Kishas, these unruly Kishas, these people who wants to tear down everything. They are not being paid for that.
Right.
If they feel so strong about it, they should join the WWE.
Let me answer your question. Yeah, because I've worked customer services. I've worked.
well, before you ask that question, can I just say, can I
No, I
just
have.
say, I have never ever went to address a problem with an order and somebody tried to push me down to the floor. And just because they couldn't do it immediately and I got a punch off does not negate the fact that they were trying to push me down to the floor to beat me up and kill me.
Hey Roger, a quick question. Are you
This
you're
other brother had a question, brother. This other brother had a question.
I just have a quick question for you. You're alone? Is everybody versus you?
I can take all y'all on. It ain't that's it. That's easy. It's
No,
light
let me
work.
You're
It's
losing
light
right
work.
now.
let me say this.
Over
The
there. You're losing.
manager handled it very poor, right? And as an employee, you're not supposed to be trying to get into a fight. That's what you call the police for, to deal with stuff, right? At no point did they attempt to call the police, which is what you're supposed to do. The minute she comes in being angry and going on and dealing with talking in an aggressive manner, you let them know that the police is going to be called. If they still don't care, you call the police, right? And the manager should have told the employee if they were doing their job to go around the back, right? And that manager is not supposed to even touch that customer. Right?
I mean, let me tell you all this.
Well, hold on. To answer his question, UK Arsenal has taken the right side with me. He's taken the right side of this with me. So I do want to acknowledge that. But if I had to take that along by myself, it'd still be like work. But UK Arsenal chose the right side of this argument. So shout out to him for doing a great job.
At the end of the day, if this was somebody of reasonable age, let's just say in their 20s, you would say to them, if you're one of these people, you'd say, okay, I finish at a certain time. Do you have a problem with me personally? Whether that be I finish 7 o'clock. At 7 o'clock, meet me outside.
Yeah? So, Your Honor, so Roger, you okay, Arsenal, this is where you get checkmated. Your Honor, we agree with the prosecution right there. They're saying that, number one, it should have been an employee handbook. Number two, they should have been trained that way. Number three, it should have been the manager's thing. We would agree with all these three things. So now this is no longer about a rogue employee, but this is about whether or not Tim Hortons is negligent or not. So now this clearly puts my client as not being a murder case, but negligence on Tim Horton as not properly training their people. So therefore, our client should be considered, let go, because now this is a negligence case and no longer a murder case. Checkmate.
Let me address the police situation. Even if you call the police,
no.
Hold on, one at a time. Let them finish, and then you go. Grandma did it.
We agree with you. We agree with you.
All right, Grandma did it.
Well, when you call the police, they can take up to 8 to 12 minutes to arrive at the scene. And you got an unruly customer holding the whole place hostage. What do you do in the meantime with that customer?
It's Tim Horton. It's Tim Horton. It'll be 3.5 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, they sell coffee and donuts. They'll be there like this.
Y'all bogus. That's all I'm saying. Y'all bogus.
Yeah, but I mean, Ron, do you see the point? If the prosecution is constantly arguing about Tim Horton's negligence, then Tim Horton should be, or the representative should be on the stand, not our client, because we argue that the reason we argue that this is a wrongful death, not a murder case, and it's a wrongful death due to Tim Horton's negligence, as opposed to manslaughter or murder.
Besides, if you know you got a heart condition,
Judge, can we get a ruling on that?
Hold on, before you say that, I'm gonna rebut that because I think that's
you can't rebut. This is your argument.
It's not the argument. The argument should the employees be charged for murder. That's what the argument is.
No, we would like to move, Your Honor. We would like to move this case to Tim Hortons being negligent, as prosecution so eloquently said how Tim Horton is responsible at every turn. This is their argument.
Eloquent.
This is their argument.
Beautifully put.
We literally said the employees went outside of what they were supposed to do. They didn't make that argument. We said that Tim Horton has policy that they did not adhere to. This was them trying to perpetuate a Tim Horton mob. They a Tim Horton gang. They was on some gang culture against this old lady who came to make it. No, because it's not funny. Because the gang culture that they wanted to emulate or imitate or whatever, however they see this gang culture that they want to have in this restaurant, I'm pretty sure Tim Hortons does not adhere to it at all and does not endorse it in any kind of shape, way, or form. They are an international restaurant, which has come to light thanks to UK Arsenal. So I don't think they are for this at all. These employees decided to jump her because that's what they wanted to do.
So they breached their employment.
You see if I get in there.
Your Honor. So now listen to the argument carefully. Tim Horton has protocols. Tim Horton was not for this. So now you need to examine, did Tim Horton properly train these people, because obviously they had guardrails in place. So if a woman dies on Tim Horton's property because of misconduct, then this is clearly wrongful death because of negligence, because guardrails existed according to the prosecution. So can we please get a ruling?
Well, that's what I was going to bring to you guys. I want y'all to take a little 5-minute break, go in back, you smoke your blunts and shit. We're going to come back for closing statement.
Man, we got a whole hour left. We got a whole
Nixon
hour left, and the
5.
Fire True broadcast just came up.
Y'all would close
Nixon
the
5.
be a whole hour.
Nixon 5.
And Inspired True broadcast just came up.
We get a ruling that this is no longer a murder case. We can argue the specifics later, but can we just get it? Can we get it down from a murder case?
Definitely, I was already. I had that in my notes.
Judge, before you say too much,
there you go.
So why you gonna keep cutting the judge off? You gonna keep cutting the judge off?
Just came up.
You just disrespect. First you up here using the N word, and you just then you filibuster, and now you cutting the judge off. This is disrespectful. Your Honor, this case should be thrown out because the prosecution is just disrespectful. Just out of disrespect, we should just throw this out.
Amen.
Order in the court, goddammit.
Yes, sir.
Inspired Truth broadcast. Go and do your thing. Yes, we hear you clearly. All right, don't do
See, I couldn't tell because I was talking and nobody said anything.
You better be on Roger's, because if you're on our side, we're gonna murder you after, because we're about to win.
Lord have mercy. Did you hear that, John? I'm just saying on the record.
I heard.
That sounds like intimidation to me.
It's absolutely, it's a promise, nigga. You better be on Roger's side because we're gonna roll on your ass.
I think this young man should be in contempt. I'm just saying.
All right, let me come save Raj real quick. Like, I want to go and get this chicken sandwich, but this chicken sandwich can wait. What we have here is we have a whole lot of elegant storytelling going on here. Like, I see a whole lot of speculation, a whole lot of, well, maybe she thought that she had a blicky, and like, oh, who knows? Maybe she thought that was an alien. She had a space ray like pointed and targeted at her along with her spaceship. Like, there's all type of magical thinking going on here. What we do have here is this thing called like actual facts, because I just looked at the video. I looked at both videos, and what I saw was the employee actually take his hand or her or whatever hand and touch the old lady first. And it wasn't some, let me just pat you on it. It was an aggressive grab at the lady. And she did make contact. She said that person, the employee, made the first physical contact. Now, how you respond to that is, if we are talking about this whole stand your ground thing, like, you are allowed to meet force with force, but you're not allowed to meet force with overwhelming force. That's why you're not really typically allowed to just kind of bring the blicky to a fist fight. Like, there are differences depending on what state you're in. Like, so in Tennessee, if you do that stuff, then you're totally in the wrong. Like, you can't just go and do that. Like, you can't go and gang up on somebody and meet them with overwhelming force and then call that self-defense. That's not a thing. Like, we got to get this stuff back to the facts of the case. And then the whole thing about the context, like, context is allowed in a courtroom. Like, you are allowed to talk about things like state of mind. You are allowed to talk about the mitigating circumstances around the events that you're actually witnessing. So, like, if you do have like a company policy and they are at work, then the fact that they are at work following their company policy does come into play, because that deals with the context surrounding the events.
And I do also want to say, if you look at if we look at the video footage, at the end of the day, when the manager called herself getting in between, that's because the employee was already being aggressive, and the manager had to stop her from hitting the old lady from Jump Street. So Tim Horton gang was already kind of in effect. And again, as they came out from behind that partition, which is the real story, when they was coming out from behind that partition, they were coming out with the partition pushing the lady. You know what I'm saying? To throw her on the ground, which she just didn't do the way she wanted to do. Because when she had a second chance to do it, she definitely did that.
Your Honor, I would like to move to strike the term Tim Horton gang because that is too for president.
Yes.
It promotes an unfair narrative against our client, like they just waking up trying to like become gang and harass customers, which is could be even further from the truth. So we'd like to strike that term and not be used in a court anymore. And second, we would like to strike inspire truth statements, because this is a come lately nigga, Johnny come lately nigga.
That's not a legal term.
Like that's look. They got free more watermelon with the chicken sandwich. How about you go over there and get yourself something to take a break?
First of all, we also need to acknowledge that I can say the one thing the manager did was right was stop the other employee from hitting the lady from Jump Street, because she was going to get hit way quicker if it wasn't for the manager. But the manager never de-escalated anything.
Your Honor, can we get a decision to strike Tim Horton gang from the record, please? That is
Tim Horton gang.
Gang activity.
Tim Horton.
We can strike.
Tim Horton mob. Tim Horton militia. Like he's using all these ad hominems because he knows he's losing.
Yeah,
can we get a ruling on that?
Request is
Can we
granted.
strike that?
Yeah, request is granted. Strike that from the document.
And let's strike inspired truth too, because this Johnny
On what grounds?
It's some bullshit.
I don't think that's an actual legal term.
Okay. Well, Judge, can we get the ruling? Can we bring this down from a murder to a civil negligence? Can we get this brought down from murder to negligence, please?
Cause maybe manslaughter if you're gonna bring it down. The lady dead, man.
We definitely got to bring it from murder. And Roger, you do know when you argue, when you take a case to court and you argue in the wrong judgment, you know you can mess up a whole case.
I understand that, but we're not arguing the case itself. That we're going to leave the legalities to do that. We're just arguing, should they be trial? Should they be trial?
We used to Roger coming up here messing up everything.
I ain't messing up. We're
that
not
goes
doing
without
criminal
saying. That's an easy ruling.
So Roger, you want me to give my ruling on it?
I've submitted some evidence to the court. I've submitted some evidence.
Brock, chill out, Brock, please chill out.
It's
we
relevant.
got you already,
it's relevant.
Brock. So
it's relevant.
You want me to give a ruling?
Well, let's let Brock say what he needs to say before we give him
relevant.
No,
so if you look at the back,
we don't want Brock. No, we don't want Brock to say nothing else. See, we have learned our lesson. He does not defend Michael Jordan correctly. He will not relitigate this case.
We're about to win it.
We are. Yeah, as soon as you be quiet and let the judge talk.
And the judge is going to talk about exactly what
our closing statements are Nixon 5. That's our closing statements. Go ahead, John.
Turn your attention.
We're ready, Judge.
Turn your attention to what
Judge,
I just submitted.
Judge, we're ready.
I've seen it in
Your Honor. First of all, the fact that the council can't even get on the same page, I think that needs to be taken in consideration. These guys are not even representing anyone the proper way, and everything that they said today should be struck from the record.
Brock was at the strip club last night. He's talking because he's trying to get that titty wax off his tongue. So just go ahead and just give your ruling, please.
Your Honor, refer to the evidence.
Oh my God!
I checked it, Brock. I checked it out already.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now, I'm gonna say this, Judge. Remember, this ain't about your opinion.
He keep talking over the judge. That's why you got to throw this out.
Judge, this ain't about your opinion. This is about what's been presented to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Not your opinion of the situation. What's been presented to you,
Judge,
and I do believe because I presented what I presented, there's no way that you can rule against me because I think you are a fair judge, you're a right judge, you're a just judge, and these guys sucked when it came down to
Judge,
their argument.
Judge,
Period.
we're not asking you to rule on a case as totality. We're just simply asking you to bring it from a murder to a civil case or a negligence case. This is all we're requesting.
Roger, you might as well get this appeal ready.
We have a dead woman. If you want to lessen anything, I can agree with a manslaughter, but we got a dead woman here.
Your Honor, so that would fall under Title 34 under
Your
civil
Honor,
cases.
planes crash with 150 people all the time, and it ends up being a negligence case with
Wrongful death.
154 people dead. So, Your Honor, we're ready for your ruling. We're ready for your fair and just ruling.
And Your Honor, I just want to say, please keep in mind, Tim Horton Restaurant wouldn't even want them to kill this lady like this. They just decided they wanted to kill this lady.
All right. Well, Judge Shark Sims presiding over this case. I'm going to have to say, and I know I'm gonna have a lot of backlash over this, but I literally got to throw the whole case out.
There it is.
Thank you, Judge. Thank
I
you,
literally
Judge.
got to
Thank you.
I ain't see that.
There was no evidence of a murder. There was a literal fight. The lady got up off the floor, went and sat down in a chair. Her hypertension kicked in, and she had a heart attack. The reason she had a heart attack is because she handled the situation wrong and went up against the wrong white people. Now, let me tell you guys something. White people didn't have it up to here with the bullshit. They ain't taking it like they used to. This ain't the 80s. This ain't the 90s. This ain't the early 2000s. They gonna throw punches back. And when you throw a punch, you better be ready to take a punch. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how cute you are, how big and diesel you are, how small and skinny you are. There are consequences for actions. And this lady suffered a grave consequence. No one should die too early. No one should die, period. But this lady's actions led to what happened to her.
Now, see, y'all just want y'all to know Detective Sims is messing it up for y'all.
Put him in contempt. Put him in contempt. He keep talking over the judge.
No.
The judge just say we're done. The judge just say we're done.
Hold on, brother. This judge is out of order because he is bringing in stuff.
The judge out of order. This nigga is out of control.
Hold fast. He's bringing up stuff that we didn't present. Remember, this was not about his opinion. It's about what we argued. We never got into none of that hypertension or anything like that.
I said she didn't take up medicine. I said she didn't take up medicine. She died of a heart attack. It just happened at the same time she was at Tim Hortons. No, you was filibustering. You couldn't hear me.
No, I heard you, brother. You never even said she was sick.
Oh, so you didn't hear it.
You cracked a joke. You cracked a
joke. So you didn't hear it. No, it's funny because it's true. It's funny because it's true.
You never even presented an illness.
No, Roger, he said she had a heart attack early in the joint. But you just have a heart attack, you don't have to have an illness. Your blood pressure could just go up from a fight. You know what I mean? And when you ain't in the right health, that could be a factor. So I'm going off of the videos, going off of the presentations that everybody set forth.
All right, panel, I'm leaving. Good discussion. I've got to go. I've got to get some shopping done. All right.
All right, take care, UK.
Yeah, be safe, UK.
Adios.
Peace out, bro.
Yeah, I gotta throw that out, Roger. Like, it was just some unfortunate events.
Mm-hmm.
We have our medical records.
Well, we don't even
have that presented.
Well, we don't even have an autopsy yet, so we can't even go off of she was murdered because she literally got up from the fight and sat down and made a phone call
and died.
Yeah, so you can't call that murder.
And we don't even need that. We don't even need an autopsy at this point to determine.
To know she did, and that is murder.
No, that's not murder, Roger. You live in Chicago. You know what murder is.
I do know what murder is, and I know if I go to a restaurant and can't make it out with my life, then I got murdered.
Now, let me help you out, Roger. This is the real travesty. The travesty is that black women of all ages all classes, are so poorly behaved and so poorly representing themselves to the public, it's hard to defend them anyway, even if you wanted to. It's difficult to defend them,
I think I
even
did a pretty
if
good
they're
job
right.
defending
Listen, I'll say you gave a valiant effort,
You
but
did.
you have shown how difficult it is because they have walked from up under the cover.
Is that
Hard to
God himself?
defend them.
I can't hear him.
Yeah, I think the Lord is working right now.
Where's Bronk, bro? Bronk, when I'm winning,
This
you gotta
is
learn to
what we're
shut the
doing.
fuck up.
This is what we're doing today.
Right? You gotta learn to be quiet, sir. When
I'm
I'm
telling you.
winning, I'm driving it home. You gotta be quiet, bro, because I'm Kobe Bryant in this motherfucker, okay?
Michael
And I
Jordan, but
treat
yeah,
you
go
like
ahead,
But
go ahead,
Kobe would
go
have
ahead.
won, and you didn't. Kobe would have won, you didn't.
I just got the whole case thrown out.
Man,
That-
it's not a win.
No, that's a win.
Yes, that is. That's the best one you can get.
That's a
Yeah,
win.
that's the win, man. That's a win.
Look,
Yeah, them white
All right,
girls.
bro, bro, just remember, you, Derek Fisher, me. Oh, okay.
I think a few people should have been in contempt of court, but that's just my opinion. Okay. But look, I am gonna say, y'all, we will do more of these in the future where we gonna, try some stuff because I think it's good. I believe it's entertaining. It's a different way to approach some things. I'm gonna say I think I did a fantastic job defending this woman in this particular case, even though it still got thrown out. I think I did a pretty good job. I think UK Arsenal brought up some pretty good points because they never did call the police. So could they really have felt threatened without doing any action to show they felt threatened? Unfortunately, we couldn't convince the judge this time, but I do believe the judge had a little bias in this situation and could not put his bias to the side to be totally objective to what we presented. But that's just my opinion. But next time, somebody else will be the judge, and I'm going to ask for you all.
But Roger, they did call the cops because when she fell out of her seat, they called the cops.
After the lady done croaked over.
Yeah, but they literally called the cops. So it's like they looked at it as, oh, we just had a little fight with somebody, and she's still sitting here. Everything is cool. Once she fell out that chair, they was like, oh shit, what's going on? And they called the cops for her. The same person that monkey punched them in the face.
If I wanted the lady to be dead, I would be hesitant about calling the cops too.
Well, she wasn't. Nobody thought she was dead until she fell on the floor.
No. The thing is, they tried to kill her, and they hesitated to call because they wanted to make it seem like they didn't know what they was doing. That was smart on their end.
Roger. She literally sat
Y'all
in. She literally.
Y'all know we need a gag order for the prosecution.
No, the case over. We're having an
slander
after discussion
of our client.
Brother, with the case over, we have an after discussion.
And your slander.
We in the newsroom now.
He threw it out.
I believe the biggest problem is when y'all kept talking about Tim Hortons, and once you did that opened the case for negligence. Were they properly trained? Right? Were they properly trained? And if they weren't properly trained, then that's negligence on Tim Hortons.
They literally tried to de-escalate the situation. If you and Roger's arguing, I would literally get in the middle, and if I see you like I see Nick's ain't doing nothing, flailing his hands, I'm gonna try to put his hands to the side, like, yo, chill out. Now once you get your hands free and monkey punch me in the face, all hell's gonna probably break loose. Mm-hmm. Now Roger's gonna jump on you because he was trying to jump on you in the first place, and now you literally gave him a reason. And I'm gonna jump on you.
Did y'all see the same video though? Like literally, like right before any type of like punch was thrown, like the worker literally like grabbed the lady. Like the reaction to grabbing somebody is probably gonna be a punch.
No. See, you're forgetting that the old lady putting her finger in their face. That and then of course, if somebody's gonna put your finger in the face, your natural reaction is to push them away, bro. That is a natural reaction to push someone away who's had their finger in your face.
They both pushed each other away. Like if you
No,
watch
yo, that's
the thing
physical.
from the first one, it was like they first kind of got to like this kind of like pushing thing. Then the worker grabbed her, and then that's when you got the swing.
Yeah, so there you go.
Look, the lady, it would have never happened if that lady didn't come in there with that rah-rah.
Yeah.
Point blank. To come to the side of the petition, that's already an act of aggression. She could have went to that cash register that's standing right there in front of them and put her hands on it and say, yo, what's going on? She came around.
This is where we get back into the context, though. She was waiting there for several minutes, like what, 5, 10 minutes or something.
That still doesn't equal to you being aggressive to the point where you're ready to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's challenge him with no, but if your order's not right, and you're coming into the restaurant, and are you going to the register to address this? Or are you going to the petition to address it? Like, us normal people go to the register, and it's one or two things. Hey, I need you to fix my order, or I need my money back.
Did that though?
That's why we're at the register.
Brother, she did actually do that. I know that clip is not in what I put back, but she actually did that.
How you know, Roger?
I watch a bunch of different footage about stuff before I come on here. The lady came in calmly and coolly.
So you didn't. Why didn't you present that in the court in evidence?
At the end of the day, I wanted to present the altercation itself, which to me was more than enough information to show that they got this old lady, man. They got aggressive with her. That's what I presented where the stuff happened at.
Oh, but you know, it also how we lead up to the problem is also part of it. And
now,
that shows what you failed to present would have helped their case more. So
okay,
that was smart.
Shout out to Black Hulu Strike. I think this is coming right on time. He says, I seriously hope you dudes were trolling today. Shout out to you, Black Hulu, because that's what it's got to be, brother. That's what it's got to be. They just wanted to be against this lady. I don't know why they have a problem with her. This Anita Grayson, shout out to her family, and my condolences to you all, because somebody lost somebody they love, and the value of Black life is just not what it used to be. That's all I can say. The value of Black life.
Roger, you laugh. I can hear you laughing right now. But if this was two black women and this was a white old lady, would you have the same feelings?
Nope, not at all. Not at all. And her granddaughter said this woman been terrorizing her mother all her life.
Notice I can't even answer for myself.
I'm filibustering.
But yeah, let me hear your answer, Roger.
Look, what I'm saying is there was enough information, if you ask me, that was presented to easily show that the black woman was aggressed. They attempted to destroy her, and basically they were able to get that done. Not to mention she's 75 years old. She don't look like she 50 or nothing like that. She looked like an old lady. So at the end of the day, why are we beating up old ladies as if they might not die? Like, don't we all understand if a person old and we start going upside their head, it's a good chance they could die? Do we not understand that?
So old man punch you in the mouth, what you gonna do?
If an old man punched me in the mouth, he's giving me a reason to defend myself. I know that that's a poor decision on his side. I accept that he made a poor decision.
So he's giving you a reason to defend yourself, and how would you defend yourself?
That old lady didn't give him no reason, though.
She punched him in the mouth.
She punched him while they were coming out from the petition, trying to push her down to the ground.
Roger. Is it possible that when this lady punched that girl, maybe is it possible that she might have knocked the sense out of her momentarily?
Brother, anything you can say is possible. What I'm going to say, though, once you try to knock somebody to the ground, just because you're unsuccessful does not mean you didn't start a fight.
No, she probably could have knocked her. gave her a standing 8 count, and the girl stumbled from behind the partition.
Knocked the sense out of her momentarily.
Look,
And what
my
happened after
thing
that, she
is,
didn't really know until she was done.
And
my
she
thing is,
stumbled on the lady. She stumbled. Her big ass stumbled on the black lady, and they was on the floor. They
my
could have
thing
really
is,
they could have whipped that old woman ass if they wanted to, but they didn't.
I think they did. They did a pretty good job. They didn't get up until she was done. She was definitely done. That lady had nothing else to give at that particular point. And she literally had a lot less to give than we all thought because she was dead soon after. And somebody said something about the police it took the police 13 minutes to get there after the 911 calls came in. It took them 13 minutes to get there, but by the time the police got there in that 13 minutes, the lady was already unresponsive when they got there.
I would like to respond to the super chats.
Well, let me read it first. Shout out to Afro Merchant. Now, I appreciate the 57-cent trailability tax, my brother. He says, I'm putting case on all you MFs. Y'all know what that means, okay? Y'all know what that means, okay? And I think Afro Merchant has been given every right to do so. But go ahead, brother.
Well, respectfully to Uru and Afro Merchants, niggas, I'm a winner. Whether it's moral or immoral, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna win. That's all I gotta say.
And like black, like, come on, like black people, we gotta do better. I just watched that video again. I ain't never seen an old woman conduct herself like that.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah, this is disgraceful. Even though when I get that age, I'm definitely wilding out, but that was disgraceful.
Right. Shout out to Black Rule Strikes, who says from the video I saw, there seemed to be a break in time between when she entered the store and the argument that led to the fight. And there was a break in time, Black Rule, because she walked in calmly and coolly, and eventually she ended up addressing them. So there definitely was a break. But at the end of the day, I think, this is the thing. You know, now I understand black women do some terrible stuff. I acknowledge that wholeheartedly. But just because they do some terrible stuff don't mean white people supposed to get off the hook. That's all I'm saying.
It's not a white and black thing. It's women being left to their own devices, black or white.
Well, no. But my point is, she was upset. Obviously, I'm not taking that away. But just because she's upset does not mean that the white ladies get to gang up on her and attack her. And I think when they came out from behind that partition trying to knock her to the ground, they just didn't do it. They tried to knock her to the ground then. And the manager is clearly at fault because she never told the other employee to go to the back room or something like that. The manager, the way she got in between them because the employee was about to do something to that lady, and that was kind of obvious, and she didn't send that employee away. That's the problem in itself. So she just wanted numbers on her side. She really didn't try to de-escalate anything. That's what I'm saying.
Nah, that older black lady, God bless her soul, she brought that all on herself.
And shout out to Afro Merchant. He says MJ. Now, I don't know what that means. Maybe that's referred to someone I just got knocked off and had to come back. So I don't get the MJ. But I'm gonna say, real talk, these ladies got far too aggressive. The manager did a horrible job. The manager literally had somebody die in the restaurant under her watch. She just wrong, period. And if she really wanted to cool things down, he should have sent that young lady to the back. Because it's some spot there where they got their coats hanging up or their jackets hanging up or something. There's some spot that they could have sent her back to. And it's I don't know what type of restaurant it is. I'm assuming they sell burgers or something. There's a freezer area, something that is not exposed to the public that lady could have been doing, that 17-year-old could have been sent back to. And she didn't do it. I mean, to me, I get it. The older lady was upset. They messed her up. She had a right to be upset. Not only did she pay for a bad order with money, she paid for a bad order with her life.
No, the older lady.
It's not cool.
The older lady ran into a 17-year-old white girl who wears Jordans and listens to Pooh Shiesty. Don't mess with this little nigga.
At the end of the day, you work at a restaurant. You don't get to beat up the customers. Okay, you don't.
And you don't get to beat up the employees, Roger.
She didn't attempt to beat the employees up. She started fighting back when they came out from behind that petition trying to knock her to the ground.
No, at least you standing on you. I ain't mad at that.
You take your wrong coffee order, go home, and make a complaint to corporate. That's what you're supposed to do.
That's one way she could have addressed it. We're not saying she could
That
not have
is
addressed it that way.
that is the way to address it, man. One of the things you do not do is argue with people that make your food, man.
I get that, but that doesn't get them off the hook either, though. I can agree with you and still not let them off the hook.
Well, the blatant murder charge, I can't put that on them.
Okay.
I can't put manslaughter. I could put a fight in, but I from that from her getting up and sitting down in her seat and making a phone call, the fight was obviously over. That's like you getting beat up and then you go home. Like, hey, you went home. You had a fight. So we can't say they didn't have a cause in it, but that wasn't no blatant murder.
Nah. This is too much like saying, okay, I set you on fire, and then, okay, now the fire is extinguished, and then you perish, and then we're just going to call that spontaneous combustion. That's nonsense.
Yo.
That sound about right. Don't that mean,
bro.
No, I mean, he making some kind of sense there. Now, shout out to Black Cruz Strike. He said she did not seem upset when she initially entered the store. Something happened we did not see. Absolutely. They ignored her and tried to play with her, and they just treated her the way they saw her, as a nothing. You know, that's what happened. She got treated like she was a nothing the whole time, and there's nothing to worry about. And ain't nothing gonna happen to us. It don't make no difference how we treat this lady. Heck, we can even kill this lady, and we're not gonna even get prosecuted, because that's what it looked like right now. And shout out to Afro Merchant. He said that was for Swin Champ. All we do is win. MJ. Okay, now I get it. Okay, because he did say he Kobe. So shout out to you. You know what? You a brilliant brother, Afro Merchant. Let me just acknowledge your brilliance, brother. That was brilliant. Real talk.
I just want to say, bro, that's offensive. Calling me a cross-dresser. I don't.
Hey, man, you wanted to compare yourself to Kobe. That was you. All right. Shout out to Turkish Tyrone. Thank you very much for your super chat. It's definitely a white versus black thing. That white girl did not have mercy. Old white lady like that. Okay, let me say that better. That white girl would not have a white lady like that. Not excusing the lady Medea's behavior. And that's all I'm saying, y'all. I'm not saying anything about the black woman getting upset. All I'm saying is her getting upset don't give them a right to kill her. Well, you know, she didn't put her hands on them.
Well, we have seen multiple Karens get their ass beat by other white people. So we can't even go with that color thing, and that's where we mess up, and we let justice just do everything wrong. Like, man, I've seen white women smack the shit out of another white woman on some Karen stuff.
Well, I'm saying this. Look, to me, it's not even just about black and white. The lady was on her side of the partition, and the white women came out from their side of the partition. It happened to be a black lady. Once you come off your side of the partition in an aggressive manner while pushing the person trying to knock them down, you are legitimately starting to fight at that point. If someone did that to me, I'm not going to wait for them to get me on the ground and bust my head before I start responding like I'm in the fight.
Sir, her side of the partition was in the car, in the drive-through. That was her side of the partition. She brought the problem inside.
With you, brother. I think she addressed it where she should have addressed. I don't think you're supposed to just stay at the drive-thru and block up everybody else because you're upset. You go in and dress it like an adult. And I think she did the right thing to address it like an adult.
I heard the wise man. I heard a wise man once say, "You can be dead wrong."
You can be,
That was
but
right.
that
And she
doesn't make
dead wrong.
That
that
was
doesn't
right.
mean you're not in the right though. You can still be in the right and be dead wrong.
Mm.
I have said that also. And the black woman was in the right. Now she was dead wrong, but she was in the right to go inside the restaurant and address it like she got some sense. You don't just sit there and block up the whole drive-through because there's other customers trying to get in, get their food, and live their lives. Now she could have been on some, what people would say is ignorant and just sat there. But all you're doing at that point is just making a bunch of other people upset and creating chaos. Why not get up and actually go in there and address it? Go park your car and address the situation like an adult. What's so bad about that? See, my thing is we gonna say the lady should be punished for doing right. Because if she just stayed in the drive-through, people would have been upset. So now we mad at her because she parked the car and went inside to talk to them like she's a sensible adult. And we gonna use that against her? Come on, man. You know? And shout out to Serious Rod. He's not a problem. He said facts again, Roger. Once they came from behind the counter to confront a customer, you're in the wrong. And that's all I'm saying, man. They never had to come from back there. If they stay back there where the employees belong, there's
You
nothing
mean
even really to
inside the
talk about.
restaurant? You mean inside the restaurant?
Yeah, it was they stay where the employees belong. That's not even a question. We know
They
she'd be
were
aggressive if she go back there with them.
they were where they belonged. They were inside the restaurant. She was in her car. She could have left. She could have went down to Dunkin' Donuts. She could have went to Starbucks.
She could have did a lot of stuff, but that doesn't mean she's wrong for going in the restaurant to address the problem.
She did wrong for it.
Boy, you know how to avoid the answer. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you, man. I'm just doing what somebody taught me how to do. That's it. She did wrong.
I ain't saying she not, but that don't mean those white women didn't do wrong by killing. And truth be told, yeah, a murder would be a little excessive. I think this is really kind of more of a manslaughter thing. If they go after them for involuntary manslaughter, probably be the best fitting one. But because they white and she black, looks like they ain't gonna do nothing. Now I ain't gonna make it about race. I'm just saying what the more likely situation is because now let's be real. 117, she probably gonna get some light work anyway if they would even address her at all. But that manager who actually got out there and did the majority of killing her, they don't want her to go down for this.
Let me ask you something, Roger. You ever talk to your nephews about driving?
Not as of yet, but it'll be happening
Not
soon.
as of yet. What will you be teaching them about driving and encountering cops while driving?
About number one, always be in the right. So there's nothing to talk about, and leave it to the facts of what the situation is, and
Okay.
understand that you don't have to argue your case on the roadside. Those would be some of the
Okay.
things I'm gonna be going over.
Why?
Just for a
Okay.
small
Very,
idea,
very good. Very good. Why? Why? Well, what's the purpose of you teaching them that?
because I already understand if they get pulled over, well, number one, you want to make sure everything's right in your car so you don't even have to deal with being pulled over. And for them to
Right.
understand if they get pulled over, they're getting pulled over for one of three outcomes. To either be given a ticket, four outcomes. To be given a ticket, to go to jail, to be beaten, or to be killed.
Right. So you're preparing them for possible outcomes because of who they are and how they're perceived.
Yeah. You got one of four
Basically.
negative outcomes coming.
Yeah, but these perceptions come from people. They didn't come from them, obviously, because they're upstanding citizens. It comes from how they're viewed because of people that came before them, whether it's right or wrong to perceive them that way. Correct?
Well, I mean, it's to me, it's not about a perception; it's just a fact of the matter. If you get pulled over, you may have done something wrong, so that you may be getting a ticket, which is a negative outcome. But if you
Right,
didn't
right,
do anything, it's still going to be negative because it's going to either be a ticket, jail, beaten to death. They're all
right.
negative.
Yeah, and we
But
deputize.
the beating of death, the beating or death is because we're black men and we're perceived a certain kind of way. Would that be fair to say?
That's fair.
Right. So what I'm saying is with this woman coming in, like she forgot that you're perceived a certain kind of way. She's gonna be perceived as being aggressive. Whether she's aggressive or not, she's gonna be perceived that way. And she's gonna be received that way. We
Let
can't
me,
forget the damage that has been done to our image by those that came before us, and it is our charge to change that image by handling ourselves the best way possible. Bro.
I mean, that I'm
Sometimes,
going to say that's fair from an overall
sometimes
societal
you just
standpoint.
gotta, yeah. Sometimes you just gotta send an email to corporate, man.
There's something to that, but
Keep
at
it
the
moving.
same time, it's not the same thing as law enforcement. Like we do deputize law enforcement to take a life. Like we only deputize fast food folk to flip a spatula.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say as Trail Bentley has said in the in the chat, Tim Horton employees do not have qualified immunity. So that is a legitimate point. They don't have qualified immunity. So they can't just be doing stuff because they want to do stuff. And they should keep in mind what the goal of the restaurant is. And I'm gonna say this, y'all. I understand what it's like. I've worked fast food and I get it. Sometimes people piss you off and they make you want to come from behind that counter. But I do understand if I come from behind that counter and I do something that the restaurant don't allow me to do, I know what's going to happen to me. I'm getting charged. I don't have no doubt about that. I think if it's me and I'm in those lady situation and I push some old lady down or even some old man down, they charging me. I know what time it is. And I don't think any of y'all would really disagree with that. You know, I'm looking at what the situation is for what it is. As an employee of a restaurant, if I'm back there behind the counter, whether I'm the 17-year-old or the manager, because even if I was a 17-year-old that got stopped, because the manager stopped the 17-year-old, once he go down, I'm an accomplice because I'm a 17-year-old black male. I'm an accomplice to a murder because we getting charged with murder. And that's just real talk. You know, at the very least, all I can hope for is involuntary manslaughter, which I think is more of a proper charge, honestly. But I don't think I would get that charge. I think I would be accomplice to a murder, even if I was a 17-year-old black guy that got stopped by my manager. They're going to say, look at this nigga. Look how he was going after her. The manager stopped her for a second, but you know what? They still did it anyway. And I think that's extremely fair to say in these United States of America. You know? So I'm looking for stuff for what it is, not how it's supposed to be. You know, the way stuff works. I don't think for a second if those were black males that they wouldn't have got charged. I'm pretty sure they would have got charged that day. I'm pretty sure they never would have made it home again. They would have left work to the police station. That's what would have happened. You know. Now I can understand, and I'm gonna shout out to Shark Sims for for being judged. Y'all, next time we do it, y'all may get warning, but whoever come up first, they gonna get to be the judge. If you don't get a warning next time we do this, okay? So, I mean, I'm cool with the outcome of throwing it out. It would have been better if I won. I'm gonna just say that, y'all. It would have been better if I won. But you can't win them all, I guess. You can't win, even on your own show, I guess you can't win them all. Which is ridiculous. But since people are starting to leave and we only got a little more than 15 minutes to go, I guess we will do some closing statements, then we can get backstage and really say what we feel around these parts, okay? So Bronx, go ahead and make a closing statement, my brother. Is Bronx in the bathroom?
Bronx in the bathroom.
No, go ahead. No closing statement, man. I'm just wrapping up on lunch for the kids.
Okay, that's a good story. That's better than saying you in the bathroom, even though, hey, just remember to wash your hands, brother. We know it's real. All right, Knicks ain't doing nothing in the finals. Any closing statement you want to make for this one, brother? I'll take me in the bathroom too. Knicks ain't doing nothing in the finals. Are you in the bathroom or are you ready to give a closing statement? I guess that means he's in the bathroom, y'all. Y'all got to start getting some checkups now. Y'all be in the bathroom a lot. Y'all remember y'all health out there. Y'all remember y'all health. Okay. I guess it's on you, brother. So dark side rules all. Any closing statement from you?
Well, hey man, I'll say shout out to Knicks ain't doing nothing in the finals. We 2-0. I think we need to keep the team together. Especially with Roger on the other side. It's a beautiful thing. Shout out to Judge Sims. Knicks in 5, baby. Knicks in 5. That's really what won the case right there. Y'all don't know about that. But no, man, it's very, no matter whether it's fair or unfair, what it is or is not, it's difficult to defend black women now because of their image, whether we like it or not. And I understand where Uru's coming from, and he's right. Are we trying to give white people license to kill us in public? No, we're not. But we need to address the fact that we are giving out that license by tarnishing our image. And black women are destroying their own image online. You need to repair your image. You need to get back under the covering of your men because now people are starting to be insensitive to things such as this, even when it includes your death. And I'll lay my play
Now I'm gonna say, what's all this we stuff? That's what I'm gonna say. And y'all might be saying, why is he saying that? Hey, I don't know that this lady was married. I don't know that she's a widow. As far as I know, she never been married. Now, hopefully that's not the case, and she had some better sense. She did have a husband at some particular point in time. Hopefully that's the case. But we don't even know if, I never had any information that suggested that she was ever married. So at the end of the day, y'all, I don't think she belongs to the subsection of the black community that I belong to. So that's a them thing, not a we thing, as far as I'm concerned. And black women do have to fix their own reputation. So I ain't got nothing to do with black women's reputation because they don't follow my lead. They could, but they don't. And that's their fault. It ain't my fault. I know a lot of people say, well, see, if y'all was do right, they would follow y'all. No, people do what they want to do. And when you're an adult and you accept that adults do what they want to do, you stop feeling guilty about people that ain't got nothing to do with you. So black women do have a reputation. Black women have to deal with their reputation. And I'm going to say because of their reputation, it's going to be a lot of the reason, not all of the reason, but it will be a good amount of the reason why when they don't end up charging anybody anything, people going to just let it go. That's what I believe is going to happen. These investigations are going to close up without anybody getting charged. And I do believe a legitimate charge that they could get is at least an involuntary manslaughter. If not the kid that was 17, at least the manager should get an involuntary manslaughter. But because she seemed to be white and the lady seemed to be black, and black women's reputation is so bad, I don't think nobody gonna really push for it at the end of the day. Now, what should happen is that her husband or her children that she had by her husband should be fighting to get her some level of justice. But I don't think she had a husband So I don't think that justice is coming. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Y'all, it's been a great show. If you like what you see over here, we do this Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Chicago time, not where you happen to be. So join us over here at the next Roger Report Live. Subscribe, y'all. It's been real. Have a great rest of y'all day. Long live the habitual line steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right. And I'm out.
Nixon 5.